Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim. We've got a lot of things going on tonight in these pre-election days. We've got less than 60 days now to convince all the people in America that they should write my name in to the ballot. When they get their general ballot, there's a place at the bottom where you can actually make your vote count, as opposed to not sure if your vote's going to get stolen by Russian hackers. By writing my name in, it's the only way you're going to actually ensure your vote is going to be counted, because right now the Department of Homeland Security has been asked to step in and do whatever they could to stop this incredible hacking, which could jeopardize our election process. Well, your write-in vote of my name is the only thing that'll stand the test of time. You will be able to put that John Hancock or that David Sponheim on that ballot, and it will be voted again and again and counted again and again until we make this country better. Because we're not going to get any fairness from the two parties. They've been bought out completely. The New World Order has tried to take over, and they're using the powerful moneyed elites that get all their money into the super PACs that go into those two parties to do their bidding. And they don't care about our country. These people are super wealthy people that are living, they're called sovereign individuals. They have no concern for any country in the world. So you like my tie and my shirt? It's kind of nice. It's not that big. My shirt fits me perfectly. Yeah, it looks good too. So this is my idea for Aleppo in Syria, the country that is dealing with a civil war for years now, all because we've been sending money into rebels starting the civil war. And I can tell you, I can stop the evil that is pervading our nation if you give me a chance. I can pull our troops out of that region. I can provide only humanitarian aid. We can get Bashar al-Assad to agree to a drop over the city of Aleppo. And here Gary Johnson couldn't even respond to questions about Aleppo. He didn't even know what or where it was. So we're seeing a shill candidate like Gary Johnson, who's also in favor of forced vaccinations, put out there like 4 years ago, when I've been doing this for 8 years and they shut the door on everything we do. They won't give us any TV time. They won't give us any kind of press release access. Whenever we give a press release, they ignore it. They don't even go back with an email, not even thank you. So we are up against the wall. We're average American people asking for you to help out. Aleppo is the second largest city in Syria, second only to Damascus. And its commerce center was destroyed years ago, and they've been dealing with all kinds of problems. Now, Gary Johnson actually asked, what is Aleppo? So he's so uninformed, he doesn't even understand the problems in the world, so there's no way you could possibly vote for a guy who's a shill anyway. I'm not going to play the video because it would actually give him airtime here, which I fight for and I value.
What would you do if you were elected about Aleppo? About Aleppo. And what is Aleppo?
And what is Aleppo?
Are you kidding? No. Aleppo is in Syria. It's the epicenter of the refugee crisis. Are you kidding? No. About Aleppo. And what is Aleppo? You're kidding? No. About Aleppo. And what is Aleppo? You're kidding? No.
All right, so there's a lot of people who are hacking their entire life. They don't even know what some of the more important crises are and how to deal with them. And no one's really in that group, that cadre of picked shill candidates like Gary Johnson and Jill Stein. These people are completely paid for. They are owned. And I am authentic. I am real. I'm the reason they've been censoring me, because I'm so honest, because I'm so good and so decent and so right for the job of president. These people won't give me an interview. They'll only give these shills, these wannabes that will never amount to anything, an interview. Shows you where they're at. Corruption at the highest levels, permeating the ranks of our media. All right, so we're going to talk about technology and how we can help people in foreign countries using technology. This is a type of technology. This is a deployment tool that we will be rolling out of our cargo planes, C-131s or C-17s. And we can give immediate food assistance anywhere in the world, including and especially America, because we don't want situations like happened at the Superdome during Katrina, when Thousands of people were sitting there in their own feces and vomit and urine with nothing to eat for 5 days. And George W. Bush flying the plane, Air Force One, going, "Good job, Brownie." So we don't want that to happen again. Trump doesn't have any ideas like the airdrop. Again, you've come to the center of all the creativity in politics today. Thank you for coming in. And if you're watching from some foreign country, welcome. We're all about providing a better country and responding to the American people and world leaders in an efficient way without having to create more problems. Never knew these people. You're coming up with story after story. There are so many people in here who actually want to attack our show on a nightly basis, and we don't know why they're doing it other than that they're scared that I might get 1 minute of advertising. Yes, skin soap cleaners are incredible from Aleppo. Yes. Dandy. Can we move on? I don't want to dwell on Aleppo all night long. Is that okay? I'd rather talk about Hillary's phlegm and then get on to some real tough technology issues. This image came in this past week of Beavis and Butthead revised to include Donald and Hillary. Isn't that great? I thought that was hilarious. Donald with his ridiculous wall he could never build in 10 years, whereas I want to build a fence in 1,000 mile fence in 1 year. He couldn't do it in 10 years. Okay, Western society must fall before one world government can be established. Wow, some people really believe that. They don't realize the nation-state model is 100% in place at all times and standing guard. Speaking of creepy, look at this guy. The guy they just released emails on that shows that he's had his greedy little fingers in every little political fish pot out there. George Soros. Alex Jones is making statements about him here in this video. The West must fall, he says, before world government can be established. This guy wants revolution. He wants in the worst way. He wants a one world government, a totalitarian government run by rich elitists. They don't want America anymore. And people like these turncoats, treasonous people, are manipulating our political system and our two-party system, which is obviously at fault here. I don't have 11 minutes to watch this, but I'm sure it's very interesting. I'm being watched on a Carnival Paradise cruise ship. 890 people. Amazing. I envy you. But I live on the most beautiful island in the world, and when I snuggle up in my hammock up here, it's like heaven. So I don't really envy you that much. Snorlax, I'm afraid you're going to get one mute, and that's your last mute before you start acting nice. We will be banning you. Hello. You put a lime in the coconut and rub it all over. Yes. And of course, Hillary and her problem with Benghazi. But since no one wants to talk about Benghazi anymore, they're talking about green phlegm instead. Someone was in our room last night and suggested that maybe this was just yet another diversion. That maybe Hillary's creating this entire story about her phlegm, that was purposeful. Because it really has taken the limelight off of her failed emails and endless complicity in the Benghazi attack. All right. Let's just talk about what's positive in your life, like the fact that you have a TV set and a refrigerator, and maybe an air conditioner if you're lucky enough to live in an apartment building that has that. I have no idea. I have no knowledge of any of the things somebody says in our show. It was like coming in the show making up stories. And I heard about the earpiece at the forum yesterday. Yeah, I saw that. So not only does she have the green phlegm issue, but now she has the earpiece where she's getting her words delivered to her by a speechwriter. That's not uncommon. I mean, remember when George Bush had the transmitter on his shoulder and he was getting his 3-syllabic statements sent to him? Oh, yeah, democracy. People die for democracy. People die fighting for democracy. Thank you. Laura and I never did that. But we've got problems with Barack Obama too, because he's been receiving that same message from the earpiece. He's got an earpiece. If you didn't know, you probably voted for him. He's got a full-on earpiece, and they give him information directly to his head. I'm not kidding either. Microchipping. Let's talk about that. There's no better time than to talk about microchipping. There's got to be something we can talk about besides this. The possibility that he's actually receiving information right now in his head would be the reason why Hillary would have an earpiece right now, because they haven't given her the brain surgery they were going to give him. Installing a microchip in the president's head is not something that, you would even think is possible, but it's totally possible. And if I could just pull up the microchip picture real quick here, that'd be great. Please, microchip, scar, thank you. I've got so many pictures of Obama, it's cluttering my hard drive. Here it is. This picture was taken of Barack Obama's head, showing the scar in his head. It's an obvious scar. Neurosurgeons have actually looked at it and said, yeah, it is definitely a scar. Calling me names in this show is insane. Yeah, I've never done anything wrong. Check my background. I have no criminal history whatsoever. It's amazing. Well, if you don't have anything to say and you read off a teleprompter and you run out of things to say, you start going, if. So I've decided to speak for Barack Obama. Let's be clear. Yeah, sure. Now that's him without a teleprompter. With a teleprompter, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to invite all of you. Thank you. I'm just a little concerned that this guy's been chipped. Seriously. So let's take another look at his scars. So many of you are saying, oh, that's photoshopped. Oh, that's not him. And that was altered. No, here's another picture of the back of his head. All right, so we're going to segue now into the possibility that Hillary is waiting for brain surgery because of her severe Parkinson's. And as you know, many doctors are coming out talking about her Parkinson's. And she's on levodopa. And that's why she had a little problem the other day, putting a little phlegm in a glass, blowing it out of her mouth. It happens. It's not a big deal. She's had some herky-jerky moments recently, yes. It's been difficult. So as soon as she becomes president, she'll be getting the brain surgery necessary to deliver messages in a very simple manner. So she won't have tremors or any type of problem with her words. So you still want Trump? Okay. Now let's talk about what Trump's been doing. Lying about his tax returns, refuses to present them because he lied about his public disclosure statements on his candidacy, claiming he had a building worth $50 million when it's only worth $1.5 million. Upping the net worth of his assets to make it seem like to the American people that he had $10 billion. And then you got all the different things that he did in his past, not to mention the simple fact that he had 4 corporate bankruptcies. You're taking a call? Okay. Yeah, 4 corporate bankruptcies to his background. He's got 60 lawsuits pending against him for not paying his employees. He's got 3 people suing him for Trump University for defrauding the people that went there. And the prosecutor says it's a slam dunk case. It will be served out November 8th. There's no marks against me whatsoever. I have no affiliation with anybody named whoever you see in the chat room. These are all fake stories being propagated here on the net, and I can't control what they say. As you can see, I did not go to ITT. Yeah, I knew a guy who went to ITT. Yeah, he got a job right away, making $35,000 a year. And this is back in 1981. Yeah, ITT just closed, by the way. They shut down. And I predicted they would be shutting down a day before they actually shut down. And that was not inside information. It was just, I said, they're probably going to shut their doors completely because they're not taking new recruits. Well, they are. They're shutting their doors. Apparently, they've been up to some really kind of sideways things, hinky things, getting money from the federal government for scholarships and not really having accredited course structures where people can get a degree. I mean, come on. And the government just kind of tuned in on it recently. That's why ITT is shutting their doors, I'm sure of it. Florida, Walmart, Coke display, remembering 9/11 sparks outrage. People are
A
furious.
Walmart store in Florida is being criticized online after a sales display was deemed insensitive. The store attempted to commemorate the September 11th anniversary with a pair of twin towers made out of cases of Coca-Cola. A spokesman for Walmart says the display is being taken down after the criticism. He says the display was proposed by Coke and approved by Walmart.
Okay, thank you. We are now aware of a unique advertising. Hello, Zelfire. Good evening. Welcome to the show. So let's talk more about the possibility that Hillary is going to be getting some brain surgery once she becomes president, and everything will be perfect. She'll be, what difference at this point does it make? And she'll be like a complete robot. Whenever somebody asks her a question, I defer, I take the fifth, I won't respond. I'm going to go for a 9 being way too high. Yeah. You got to get it around 7. Your pH should be around 7. David, I may be offended by you. Oh, okay. I don't mind. If you want to be offended, that's fine. She will be differenceless. Yeah, she'll have nothing but a sideways answer like she does now. You know, many of you Democrats really want her so bad, and I know there's, 55% to 65 to 6, actually 69% in favor of Hillary in the polls that I've heard. All the polls that I'm getting, and they're saying, oh, the independent polls put Trump ahead. Oh, BS. The independent polls, that's somebody pulling a poll out of their butt. No pun intended. Rather pun intended, yeah. But come on, seriously. Everybody knows she's got 5% to 14% wins. Virginia had an exit poll that said that she'd win by 14%. So they don't even care if she's coughing up phlegm, seizing, in paralysis. The Democrats love her. Yeah. So let's do a remix of her coughing and let's see how that sounds. Because I'm going to try to convince you not to vote for Hillary tonight. I'm going to do my best. A one, two, three, four.
Let's go to Cleveland. And I want to thank Congresswoman Marcia Fudge for hosting us.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
We have 63 days to
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
What's up, everybody? It's Break Free.
That was better than nothing, I guess. I was waiting the whole time for it to go into a real hip-hop beat. Do you think she has pneumonia? How many of you are more sympathetic for Hillary now that she is coughing up phlegm? Any of them? What health problems do I have? I'm impeccable. I'm Mr. Human. I'm the living example of 100% human health. Not you. You're not going to vote for? Good. Vote for me. Write my name in. It will be counted. The Diebold voting system, the technology is antiquated. The Department of Homeland Security can't possibly keep a lid on this. David, is this your new strategy not to not mention Trump? I'm talking about Hillary right now. I mentioned Trump earlier about all of his corporate bankruptcies, his extremely dark history with the Gambino mob group, all the work he did with Roy Cohn. Great. I'll be coming in 8 minutes. Right now it's 6 o'clock, 21 minutes after 6 o'clock. Thank you. 6:30 on the dot. That's when I take off and do my thing. David, why do you deny knowing? I don't know anybody by that name. I'll take a lie detector test too. You know, I don't talk about my credit score simply because I don't really think it's important. I think I never had any outstanding debt. I've never missed a payment. But credit score is for people that want to borrow money, and I'm not like Trump. I'm not a big borrower. I got solvent, so solvent that I actually retired at the age of 50. I'm comfortable enough to live the rest of my life in the manner I'm accustomed to. Unlike Trump, who's always in debt and can't seem to get enough, so now he wants to be your president so he can make more money and give more money to his crony friends. You were wrong, Zellfire. Yeah, it's just going to get worse and worse. Our country is in a free fall. We have no free press. Our access points here for our purposes is a site called Vaughn and iVlog and YouTube. And we're being censored on YouTube. We're being censored on Vaughn. So you can see how bad off the real truth is and how difficult it is to get a real open dialogue going in America. It really has becoming the problem. It has become the problem. We cannot possibly continue without an open dialogue on the issues. But that's not what the media wants. The media wants to drive you into a left or right wedge. And the social Republicans, the social conservatives that have no one to turn to now, can now vote for me because I support modifications to the abortion laws with the first trimester abortion law, keeping women from having abortions after 15 weeks, which is a good move. Trying to urge them to make that decision in the first 15 weeks. I also have a plan for 2-minute meditation in all the public schools in deference to the issue of school prayer. So social conservatives can now choose me. I also don't want the government involved in marriage. So you don't want people, same-sex people, to get married in any one state? I don't either. I don't want them to get married at all. So we have something in common, the social conservatives do. The Tea Party people, they're going to like me too because, frankly, I offer a fiscal conservancy at all levels, cutting the budget by 50% in many areas and getting a zero deficit by 2017. These are the issues that need to be addressed. And no other Republican, especially not Donald Trump, is really doing that. Donald Trump is like a liberal in disguise. I mean, everything he says is so duplicitous. He's talking through the side of his mouth all the time, and he actually has made statements in People magazine that are shocking. But let me show you right now what Trump said recently, or not recently, actually many years ago, that really make you realize he is just like Hillary. He wants universal health care just like Hillary. He wants to tax you just like Hillary. He wants to expand the military budget just like Hillary. It's unbelievable. Listen to this. Blow your mind.
In many cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat. I've been around for a long time, and it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. But if you go back, I mean, it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats.
Healthcare.
Liberal in healthcare. We have to take care of people that are sick.
Universal health coverage.
I
for the
love
nation.
universal. Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years. I live in New York. She lives in New York, and I've known her and her husband for years, and I really like them both a lot. I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job, and I like her. She's a really good person and woman.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Yes.
Okay, now this is a quote from a People magazine that he talked to in 1998, in which he said, if I were to run, I'd run as a Republican. They're the dumbest group of voters in the country. They love anything on Fox News. I could lie and they'd still eat it up. I bet my numbers would be terrific. Yeah. Well, that's pretty sad that the Republicans are now falling into the trap of voting for the last possible person they'd ever vote for. And it's pathetic that the truth, the light is shining right in your eyes. And you have to make a decision right now. And your vote is already wasted on the two parties. If you vote for Hillary, you're voting for the New World Order and Zionism. If you vote for Donald, you're voting for the New World Order and Zionism. You know what the New World Order is? The New World Order is you being forced vaccinated, you being RFID chipped, you being depopulated, you being removed from Earth. That's what the New World Order is. Global world domination. And people like George Soros are in the back pocket of Hillary and Donald. Donald openly solicited AIPAC money. Hillary openly solicits AIPAC money. 7.4 billion people, $19.479 billion debt. You're talking about the debt of the U.S. versus the world population? Okay. You know, the apple crisp is something Sarah did, and I'm going to let her show it to you when she's proud of it, because she's going to, crisp it up in the oven. I'm going to do a little intro video and get right into the show, okay? I'm going to show you something that just came in on Hillary. Something that I think all of you should see, a portion of it. This is a doctor. He's a neurophysician, and he's going to talk about the possibility Hillary has Parkinson's. I'm going to give you a little of it right now.
Welcome to vidzed.com. My name is Ted Noel. I'm a medical doctor with 36 years of experience, but I am not Hillary Clinton's treating physician. So I can't claim that what I'm about to tell you is a conclusive diagnosis. What I can do is exactly what the CIA does. I look at the public record and then I put it together to see if there's a single story that explains all of the odd things we see with Hillary and arrive at an answer as to what's going on medically with her. On August 14, Joe Biggs of InfoWars reported that Secret Service agents had approached him with information that Hillary Clinton was suffering from Parkinson's disease. They've had to take steps to accommodate her disease. They also indicated that they have known she's had Parkinson's disease for an extended period. It has become so severe that they are seriously concerned about her ability to perform the duties of president if she is elected. This is a highly unusual circumstance because Secret Service agents are cleared top secret and are prohibited from disclosing this sort of protected information. The only obvious reason for them to speak to a reporter is that they see Hillary Clinton as an imminent threat to national security because of her disease. Days after InfoWars, Julian Assange of WikiLeaks released Hillary Clinton emails where she directs State Department staff to research new drugs to treat Parkinson's disease. Let's connect the dots. On January 31, 2005, Hillary Clinton fainted during a speech. Secret Service agents kept her from injuring herself as she fell. Her public explanation was that she was ill and dehydrated. She left the stage to remove an outer jacket rather than removing it on stage. Oddly, she did not seek medical attention unless she received it off stage before returning. June 18, 2009, Hillary Clinton broke her elbow, quote, on her way to the White House, close quote. Again, we do not have video. But this is also a bit odd since she has had 24/7 Secret Service protection for 24 years. She would have to fall at a distance from them with no warning, or they would have broken her fall as they did in 2005. Early in December 2012, Hillary Clinton fell at home, struck her head, and suffered a concussion. Like the 2005 fall, the public explanation was dehydration and fainting. But again, this is very odd. To strike your head requires a complete loss of protective reflexes. Being wobbly from dehydration won't do this. At this point, let's look at the Secret Service Parkinson's disease story. If Hillary has Parkinson's disease, all three falls make sense. In 2005, she could have felt herself starting to have problems and went off stage to get an apomorphine shot for a quick fix. Unfortunately, it didn't work and she fell. The 2009 fall is stranger, but this is well explained by a Parkinson's freeze event. As one Parkinson's sufferer put it, 1 minute I'm upright and sailing along. The next, the asphalt is rushing up at me. The alarms sound, the adrenaline spikes, the needles jump into the red. We're going down. Shields up, shields up. But there are no shields. 180 pounds of vulnerable flesh and bone crashes to the earth. Hillary probably froze and then fell. Either she recovered enough to avoid major injury as she was falling, or she was simply lucky. Then came 2012 and the concussion. This time, the freeze was unlucky. No one was there to catch her fall, and the damage was major. Now let's be clear here. This is not a firm diagnosis. I am a doctor, but I am not her treating physician. But everything so far fits the theory. Her, quote, medical clearance letter, close quote, is a typical response managed by a politician who lies about everything. She has not released any records, whatever, from the hospitals where she was treated. In other words, Hillary Clinton is asking us to take her word for it. A month after the fall, Hillary's closest aide, Huma Abedin, said in an email that Hillary was often confused. That's not a big surprise because Hillary had a bad concussion and was recovering from her closed head injury. The Fresnel glasses Hillary wore for a while aren't a big deal either, since they were helping with the double vision she had after the concussion. But we should remember that our theory is that the concussion is the result of a bigger neurological problem, not the cause of a continuing problem. Post-concussion syndromes generally recover. A post-concussion syndrome doesn't explain the other things we see. Early in 2016, Hillary's problems started to be really obvious. Videos of odd physical movements and brain freezes became common. This is consistent with progression of Parkinson's disease into its later and more troublesome stages. The first picture to surface is Hillary being helped up a set of porch steps in February. Once again, if she froze while climbing the steps, the people right next to her could catch her and keep her from injury. Suddenly, we start seeing lots of video evidence. In April, Hillary Clinton spent a large part of an appearance nodding her head. To most people, that was just odd. But if we think about Parkinson's disease, it's obvious. This is a head nodding tremor. She was simply present as discussion went on around her, and the tremor showed up as she was at rest. The same tremor showed up when Bernie Sanders endorsed her for president. One website counted over 400 nods then. Before we go further, it's necessary to fill in some medical background. Parkinson's disease causes tremors at rest. That is, when a hand is simply resting, the tremor can take over, but using the hand in a purposeful act will suppress the tremor. Other things that Parkinson's sufferers often do is to place their hands in unnatural and even painful positions. One very common feature is placing the middle finger above the back of the index finger rather than leaving it in line with the others. On May 2, Hillary Clinton is standing on a stage without a lectern. As she speaks, she uses two techniques to hide tremors in her hands. First, she keeps her hands busy. Second, when she's not using her free hand, she presses it to her chest, thus making any tremor almost invisible. The problem with this strategy is that it's not perfect. In the beginning, Hillary's right hand behaves normally as she waves it around to emphasize her speech. Then she presses it to her chest briefly. Then she gestures again with her right hand. But this time, her Parkinson's disease takes over, and it's likely she isn't even aware of it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so, I don't know. You know, she definitely should submit to a medical test to verify she's safe to run. And, you know, goes back to the Democrats not vetting the current president we have. It did kind of look natural for her to hold her hand there. I mean, I think the guy was picking on her there, but, you know, and the head jerking, the things that we've seen, and the cough, which is indicative of a levodopa, which is used with Parkinson's. The cough is a symptom of taking levodopa. It creates like cold-like symptoms, and phlegm in your throat would be one of those things. Bosch's new technology injects water into the engine, the combustion chamber. And this is not new technology. This is old technology. It first was developed many, many years ago, but Bosch is perfecting it for their engines. Water injection has been a way to save energy for almost a century now, and they're just finally getting to the point where they're integrating it in. Water injection with water boost. Wow.
Water Boost uses the cooling effect of water to help gasoline direct injection systems place more and cooler intake air in the combustion chamber. This makes combustion particularly efficient and delivers an extra kick when accelerating. Injecting a fine spray of water into the intake port at high loads reduces the temperature in the combustion chamber. This lowers the knocking tendency of the engine and permits an earlier ignition timing, which in turn optimizes operation of the gasoline engine. The result is a 13% reduction in fuel consumption or a 5% increase in power output. Furthermore, Bosch water injection makes it possible to design engines with a higher compression ratio, which leads to a CO2 reduction of up to 4% in the WLTC test cycle. The Bosch water injection system includes a specially developed water injector that is precisely placed so that it injects a fine spray of water into the combustion chamber via the intake port. Besides the water injector and the water rail, the system contains further components: a water pump, an electronic pump controller, an electronic engine control unit for the entire system, and last, a water tank.
Could this guy be a little bit more dull and boring? I mean, I think his voice is about as monotonous as the dulcimer voice of Mr. Monotone. And the water assist assists the fuel consumption of the vehicle. Yes, we will use every amazing technology to get the blimp plane. It's going to be a great plane, a great blimp plane, a great one. I don't know. I wasn't in Kosovo. Yeah. So it's taken 100 years for Bosch to develop this or put this into action. Rectal exam, according to him, he said, he asked Hillary today, what about David Sponheim? And she said, I never sent him Snapchats. You're right. You're so right. Thanks so much. Appreciate that rectal exam. That doesn't sound right. Appreciate that rectal exam. It's a username named rectal exam. Thank you, just so you know. Let's try it. You never know. Okay. Share this show live on Facebook, everyone. Make it public. There you go. We've got people thinking who are social networkers right now. And BMW, Ann surprises us and says BMW has this technology. That's pretty cool. Water injection technology by BMW. And they don't use a voiceover guy. Oh yeah, we're there. Introducing Empower. So this must be like the dumbed down version for people who are mildly retarded. It doesn't even tell you how it works. It just, yeah, look at it. It's really cool. We don't need a voiceover guy, especially a monotone guy. You have a machine that makes that thrusting motion. Well, good for you. You and every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. Dave, maybe if you invite an audience to join you for a talk in real life and offer them free apple crisp, sounds like a plan? Political prisoner, we already did that. We had a couple of big, well-advertised meetings up here in which Kenny arrived. Now, Kenny is a guy who can eat 15 hot dogs in one sitting and now weighs over 350 pounds. But you get people like Kenny, and that's all you get. Having a local gathering is not the solution. We are building a national presence through word of mouth. And that word of mouth is going on all over the place. We've got a Carnival cruise liner watching us from outside of my island here. You guys over there in Carnival, hello. We've got 890 people sitting there in the lounge going, wow, this guy really is trying to become president of the United States. We have a great solution to Aleppo, and we are very concerned about this problem. As you can see, the food aid idea that we've had for over 8 years is not being copied by anybody, thankfully. We've got so many great ideas we've had on our website for the past 8 years, like the 1,000-mile fence border with Mexico. We had that 8 years ago. The mobile medical unit idea, that was ours 8 years ago. The solar panel solution, which is now being used by Hillary, the rooftop solar system. She's got advertisements talking about the rooftop solar systems. And they're using all of these techniques and all these ideas that we've had for the past 8 years, and we've been completely censored in the news. Aleppo is the Syrian second largest capital of commerce, and it's been under crisis for many years since our country has been funding rebel troops, which led to the civil war in Syria. So you won't hear any Democrat or Republican framing it that way. We started ISIS. Our country started ISIS. We literally funded the training grounds for ISIS in the early days. And you even have Barack Obama say flat out that he is funding ISIL. And you see it in the videos. They're actually telling you to your face that they're funding ISIL and ISIS. And the government has been running a side operation through the CIA, which is a complete nonsensical disaster. Look at what Obama said a couple years ago.
Was moving too slowly, but the fall of Ramadi has galvanized the Iraqi government. So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
Why would we be funding ISIL forces, which are the enemy of the Shia-led government of Iraq, which we, by the way, installed? It makes no sense. So yeah, the confusion in the political science realm with foreign policy has never really been sorted out in the mainstream media. If you vote for Hillary right now, you're voting for a woman who's probably got medical issues beyond belief. She's got a history of body count history of people that were right very close to testifying against her and Bill and then died. If you're not even aware of that, you need to look up the Clinton body count. So there's all kinds of reasons not to vote for Hillary. And I'm very biased because I don't like the Democrats. I think they are willfully corporate and suck-ups to corporations, and they've done nothing to cut taxes. But I don't like the Republicans either because they're completely mindless when it comes to allowing government operations to take a lead and to get a return on investment. So that's why we created a concept we call hybrid capitalism, to fund the growth of our government and to make it run efficiently. And hybrid capitalism has been at the very centerpiece of our show for many years, since we wrote the book. And you can download the book for 99 cents. It's available on Kindle. So hybrid capitalism is the way we want to get the country to get a new start and get to run efficiently and to cut taxes. But we need to get these ideas out there. And having people steal the ideas ahead of the book or after the book is kind of pointless, because we're trying to push a centralized theme, a new way of changing our government without jeopardizing the precious capitalist economy that we have, which I enjoy. You know, we don't talk about any other parties because we've been trying so desperately to break through the censorship in the media that to talk about a fourth party or a fifth party is irrelevant. I mean, you could bring on 60 parties. It's irrelevant. The idea of a third party is to break the back of the censorship. And we're doing it every day. And you're talking about me around the world is helping. So don't think it isn't. It is our book. We created it. And I've never been a crook in my life. I don't take from people. Yeah, and I will be prosecuting people who threaten us. So bear in mind, these chats are recorded. Hey, Willie P. Willie Pickles. David, I need you to start wearing some white or light blue shirts. The dark colors don't look presidential. Willie, I rarely wear this color shirt. And I thought of a white color shirt because every show we do is white color or black when it comes to a Monday show. But this here is a burgundy shirt, and this is a burgundy tie, and it represents to me a shift, kind of a cosmic shift in our way of looking at things. Most of you think that you can just cheapen products and buy crap at the dollar store and expect this whole thing to just cycle every year. Well, what's happening is we're losing money every year that we outsource. And because we're not making products that are built to last like they used to be, our country is now vulnerable to breaking down everywhere you turn. You got jets right now in America that absolutely are being replaced with small parts from China that are cheap, that may break and have sheer strength problems. You got another scam going on, the Zika scam. U.S. is to pay Japan over $300 million to develop a new Zika vaccine. We don't support the reckless use of vaccines here. We don't support forced vaccinations. Although we recognize the benefits of certain vaccines, we think they should be given in a staged, careful way. And I would love to see mercury taken out of the vaccines and nagalase taken out of the vaccines, because nagalase has been known to cause tumors. Its presence amidst tumor production is well noted. And if you want to Google nagalase, go right ahead. It'll tell you all about the dangers of vaccines. Now, when you're looking at our show and you look at the chat and you see it right there right now, you see how there's people in the chat that are actually trying to destroy my reputation. They're doing everything they can to stop everybody from believing in what we're doing, because they're scared, they're frightened. They're concocting things about me that don't make sense. They don't have any merit in truth whatsoever. And you'll see this going on, and it shows you how frightened the rich people and the elitists are of the growth of this movement right now. It's amazing. 5,300 Wells Fargo employees have been fired. Over 2 million phony accounts. Look at that. Wow. $1.5 million accounts have been made without authorization. They were funded by transferring funds from customers' existing accounts. The bank agreed to pay $185 million in fines, and they're firing 5,300 people. This is huge. $5 million restitution to refund customers. Yeah. This is fantastic. This is the best news I've heard all day. Thank you. You know, I retired a long time ago. I don't need to work like many of you have to work all the time. I'm sorry that you have to work, but you didn't save money when you could have. There was a time when you could have saved money back in the old days. You just didn't save money. It's your fault. Hillary's health concerns are serious, say most doctors polled by the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. So many people are talking about Hillary, not just a few. I heard 10 doctors are openly stating she should have a medical review done. This is probably similar. Tucson, Arizona. Concerns about Hillary Clinton's health are serious, could be disqualifying from the position of the President of the United States, say nearly 71% of 250 physicians responding to an informal internet survey. Amazing. More than 78% said the health concerns have received not enough emphasis in the media. Interesting. All right. I had a personal experience with Wells Fargo. Yeah, and I've seen this happen time and time again. So when somebody said, you are all much younger than me, that's fine. When somebody said, this is a story, I mean, I'm like blown away. I'm very happy that they're pursuing an internal corruption charge. I really believe that it's happening more than you even imagine. I think there's people taking money right there at the teller. I've heard of 2 cases in my area where people were shortchanged at the teller at a Wells Fargo. Nope, I do not write for that magazine. It's a lie. You know, there's a lot of newspapers that the homeless people are given by Communist Party members. Believe it or not, there's a Communist Party magazine. I think it's called a People magazine or something. Yeah, and they give it to homeless people, and they let them pocket a little bit of money for $1. They get to hand the magazine out. Seriously. They ask for $1 for the magazine, but it's strictly a communist shell group that was created, and it has no reference to the Communist Party on it. But they're doing that with homeless people. I wouldn't doubt that Ed's involved in that event. North Korea had a 5.3 magnitude. Could be a nuclear test. No, I don't want to make it harder for anybody to actually get anything in America. I want to lower regulations. I want to give everybody here in America $400 per month per U.S. citizen. There's no other presidential candidate who's got this plan. We're the only ones. We've got all kinds of great ideas. I mean, you are listening to the originator of the mobile medical unit plan, the ocean pipeline plan, the 1,000-mile fence plan. You are listening to the authentic originator of these ideas that can actually implement these ideas. So you're talking to the horse's mouth. Let's go for it. $400 does not create dependency. In fact, what we have today is welfare and food stamps. This eliminates food stamps almost altogether. It changes the whole scripting. We're going to use the food stamp program completely. We'll use all the cards that you currently have. Everybody who currently gets food stamps who's a U.S. citizen will get $400 a month. Anybody who wants it, all you have to do is show your birth certificate and a driver's license, and you'll get that. That's the plan. You can be a Wall Street executive and make this kind of money and just augment your income. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm serious. It's encouraging a lowering of the stress, the stigma people have of receiving food stamps and welfare. Changes the dynamic so we don't have to get bled dry by welfare recipients who give birth to more kids and they get more welfare every time they do. You don't have to put anything in to get $400. If you currently have Social Security and or disability, you will get that instead of the free $400 per month per U.S. adult. So we're not going to change your benefits. So getting rid of the biggest suck monster in our social welfare spending system, which would be welfare, and Medicaid, Medicare, we're trying to attack the cost overruns directly. And I'm completely different than any of the other candidates because we actually take on the budget head on. Thank you. I have no idea who that person is. You're just making up stories, man. It looks ridiculous when you come up here and lie about something that I'm not involved in and never have been involved in. It's just ridiculous. No, we don't need to characterize this as dependency. What this is a chance to actually get a head up or a hand up, not a hand out. You can't get your act together without food in your stomach. Am I right? You can't get your act together without a place to shower. And if we offer a mobile service unit, modern day technology that could provide a washer dryer with recycled water, a shower with recycled water, a chance to clean up and get a job, people will do that. They will. We offer a place where they could hook up their USB charges so that they have something they can communicate, their iPads can charge up. We can get a free Wi-Fi connection for these people. We can do a lot for the people that are in tent cities. And it troubles me to think that you people think it's a freebie when Donald Trump and other Wall Street executives have got nothing but free money left and right, corporate welfare, and you come down on average people. You know, I see veterans all the time when I drive around that have no way of getting money. They worked 3 years in our military fighting for our country, and they are out on the street right now, and they've got nothing. They can't get welfare. They can't get food stamps, barely. They have to have a home and an address to collect those things. It's terrible that you actually think that 400 is a handout. People can barely survive on that. And I chose 400 because I know that's the mark. That's how bad it is.
Thanks for supporting us ever since you stumbled upon David's cast.
Thanks. So how did that apple crisp turn out?
I just turned off the oven.
We'll find out. Once the oven cools down, we'll bring it in, we'll show it to you, and we'll take a bite out of it.
The $400 will be coming from reforming our welfare system.
Yeah, it's actually just an addition to the food stamp program, but it changes the food stamp program. People who are currently on food stamps and getting disability will get the same amount on their card in food stamp money. That's the one concern people had because they were saying, well, I'm disabled, will you cut my food stamps? No, we won't. You'll still get that amount. But people who are on welfare right now won't get any welfare money. no money for kids, strictly the adults. So a lot of families will have typically 6 or 7 adults in the family, and they'll all get their own food stamp card. We'll offer them all their own food stamp card. So they'll all be able to bring in $400 per person, and that means nobody has to argue over who gets the most money. That was my big concern. People would be arguing over who gets the most money. People would have $400 each person to survive that month, and then they'd pool it together and put their rent money together. Or they'd get Section 8 housing vouchers, and the government could get involved in owning some of those houses. We need to migrate to a more efficient system. It currently is running well out of proportion to its intake. We're barely meeting the interest on the debt we acquire every year, and they're overspending by $1 trillion a year right now. Sure, I'll be glad to discourse with an alien and represent humanity. Absolutely. I officially don't believe in aliens, but I do believe there could be life outside of our Earth, but I don't believe that they're walking among us right now and have reptilian faces. And I would be glad to represent the American people and all people on Earth in dealing with such a thing, but I doubt I'd ever run into one. Thank you. I have to touch the alien, and I do support the Full Disclosure Project. Sarah does too, I'm sure. We've never talked about it, but I'm sure you do.
Full Disclosure Project, of
Yeah.
course. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm speculating that there could be life outside of the Earth, but I don't believe there's any aliens walking on Earth right now.
All right, that's what, yes.
Okay.
All right, there's a great homemade free energy producer. Involves using a ceiling fan motor with fan blades and a car alternator hooked up to a car battery to store the power. You built one yourself. It works with your power. Your power depends on how many car batteries you hooked in together in the alternator. That's pretty cool. Very cool. We're not going to turn anyone into cat food. No. Then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. Are you singing that Then You Really Might Know What It's Like song 740? Get a job, you worthless bum's all he replies. Oh, thank you. I'm looking sweeter than apple crisp. You're so sweet. Thank you. Is it? I think it is Everclear. That's a really good song. Game over. UC Irvine accidentally invents a battery that lasts forever. Ooh, how cool is that? Nice. Thanks for the information. Let's put it up here. So UC Irvine accidentally invents a battery that lasts forever. It joins Play-Doh and champagne as the world's best unintended innovations. Oh, I think I saw something about this. All of these things were discovered by accident. Viagra, popsicles, cornflakes, ivory soap, the kitchen microwave, and champagne. They were all discovered by accident. An ultra-long-lasting nanowires battery also was discovered by accident. The UCI Nano battery endured 200,000 charge cycles over 3 months with 94 to 96% average coulombic, however I say that, efficiency. Oh, that's disgusting, real Trump. David would not do that with phlegm. I think that's horrible. Good evening, Stealth Mode. How are you? You're not going to turn anyone into cat food. That's why. 265. Hello, Antique. Hi, Mad Dog. If I didn't say hi to you before. Alright. No, I don't believe in Soylent Green. But, Mad Dog, of course you're wanted. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Alright. No, I think that's the thing that David was making a joke, possibly. But, Mad Dog, of course you're wanted. Alright. Sarah, would you ever try cat egg rolls? They're not that bad. No? What is that, cat inside? No. If they're egg rolls that you feed to your cats, then that might be good. I don't know. I have eaten egg rolls before. Fried bologna sandwiches are a bad thing. Bad thing. Don't do it. Avoid the fried bologna sandwiches. How does one even fry a bologna sandwich? Actually, non-fried bologna sandwiches are also a bad thing. You know the one, yes. Bologna on the grill. Bologna. Just the word bologna is like enough to weird me out. I do not like bologna. I guess you could make a fried bologna sandwich like you grill cheese, but you have to put cheese in it if you make it. Then it would be a bologna grilled cheese, which still sounds gross. Well, I hate that stuff. I hate bologna. It just is not my thing. I do like bolognese sauce, though. Yes, a meat sauce. As long as it's not made with meat, bologna is the primary meat, then I like bolognese. Yes, as usual, Sarah's rambling about nothing important. I'm just simply giving David a break. That's it. Yes, David's plugged into the wall to recharge his cyborg batteries. Thank you. Sausage is fine. I had some scallops and some asparagus for dinner with a little bit of rice. And then we'll have the apple crisp for dessert. No, I don't like hot dogs. 783. They are like mini bologna. So, no, I don't like them. Did Cret bars give breaks? Yeah, you can eat the apple crisp now. I think I'll be eating it later. Not very often, 265. Yes, David does take great care of me as a great person. Okay, are you like an animal, Captain Howdy? I have had some Hebrew dogs that weren't too bad, but normally I don't like hot dogs. No, I did not admit to any such thing, 265. David is an awesome person, always. I used to eat corn dogs when I was a kid, but I really don't like them anymore now. You're a super intelligent house cat. That explains a lot. Absolutely. Okay, I was going to scroll down. Hello, Devlin Bowman. Tourists are flocking to the Great Barrier Reef because it's dying. I agree with that statement, Devlin. Dave, ignore Von Live. They're all trolls. The real people are on iVlog. Alright, I'll make sure I watch both. How about that? They still sing in the year 2000 on Conan? Or what about We're Gonna Party Like It's 1999? Alright. Yes, I take a little bit of care of David too, and he takes care of me. Oh, whatever. Jar Jar, just because I made a joke about David recharging his batteries doesn't make him really a cyborg. No. You're bored, so you're building a copper coil. Nice. Fun. Sounds fun, fascinating, all those good things. That is just disgusting, real Trump. That is so gross. I almost want to ban you for talking about phlegm. I do not like discussions of phlegm. Phlegm or sputum or any of that stuff. Spit, it's just all disgusting. No, 265, that's gross too. A North Korea nuclear test is suspected after an artificial quake. They're suspected of carrying out their 5th test of a nuclear bomb after a magnitude 5.3 earthquake was detected close to the test site. Thank you, exactly, Captain Howdy. No talk about bodily fluids or bodily things that are bodily.
Not really. We've had enough discussion of that stuff. I won't talk about it anymore. It's disgusting. She needs to seek some serious medical treatment. I'm surprised the country hasn't just simply insisted that she has a doctor review her. The Democrats have done this time and time again. They didn't vet Barack Obama's history with Kenya. They never checked his birth certificate. Of course they're not going to check on Hillary's health. I mean, seriously, these people are causing our country to collapse with their sublime idiocy and inability to question anybody, especially somebody with a dynasty of corruption like the Clintons and the Trumps.
Devlin says...
A dynasty of corruption.
The study found that 37% of the public thought genetically modified food was safe to eat, whereas 88% of scientists thought genetically modified food was safe to eat.
Scientists don't know better. They actually don't read the studies. You know, the studies aren't even being done. Monsanto is doing studies, they're signing affidavits, and they're saying that they're out there, but there's no proof that they're actually being studied. They simply write an affidavit to the FDA, that's how it works, and they sign off on it like it was no big deal. I have to go charge my battery pack. I'll be right back. My hydrogen is running low.
Okay. You went to the meat market and you bought meat that's free of chemicals and dyes and antibiotics and all that good stuff. Nice. Oh, is he still around, Antique Ed person? Oh, I'm glad he's in DC now. Yes, I will always help David, whatever happens to him. Be right back. No, I won't be right back. Okay, Devlin says, grapes, raisins, sultanas, and currants in both raw and cooked forms have been reported to cause kidney failure in certain types of dogs. Wow. Kidney failure in dogs. I ate a grape today. I think I'll be fine. DJS Love thinks Hillary Clinton's out of control, and 94491 says, Sarah, whatever happened to Candy Rain? She got married, moved to Georgia, started an organic garden, started a candle making company, maybe a soap company. So, that's what happened. Nope, I'm not Jar Jar. I'm living my life of my own free volition. You only use Roundup in your organic garden, then it wouldn't be organic. Oh, you want Sarah62 to be the new Sponheim girl? Well, she could always make a video endorsing Sponheim. I'm sure he'll play it like the Candy Rain video. Into what? Chat room celebrity. All
okay.
Right.
Bon appetit! Here is the apple crisp for all you to look at. So I'm going to let you do the honors and scoop out of there. Don't touch the big thing. It's pretty heavy, hot. pull it out and put it in there.
It looks like it's caramelized.
It's pretty amazing. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. Okay, and then you can show everybody what you have there. Beautiful apple crisp from Washington Apples. Amazing, with oatmeal and good sugars, and thank you. I'll be back to get that from you.
Okay. Just gonna take this away from me. I think I'll just eat it. Fantastic apple crisp. Pull it out, put it in. The result is apple crisp. All right.
Now, somebody said that you have to have this with vanilla. Somebody said you had to have this with vanilla ice cream, so
You'll have to eat this with vanilla ice cream.
let's put a scoop on that. Whoa! Hang on, I got it.
I don't think anyone should be protesting the national anthem.
Okay, that'll be a serving in the other room.
They're intended to, even if they're claiming that they want to do so in, like, to bring awareness to certain rights. Yeah, this is cookie night. Date night, you could say that. Where we were eating apple crisp with apples and oats and things like that. Oh, whoops. New rules may allow you to bypass your cable box. They have a plan, the FCC has a plan to make cable companies provide apps that can be used on devices. Nice. Oh, the United States is urging travelers not to use the Galaxy Note 7 on flights because of battery explosions that prompted Samsung to issue an unprecedented recall.
Switch with you.
Okay. Apple crisps are awesome. All right. Hello, Mad Dog. Bacon fat is pretty good. You think apple crisps are some kind of plot? A plot for good food? Okay, oh, sorry, Devlin, I missed some of your chat. Thanks for hanging in there. I'll keep reading it, though. Devlin also says researchers analyzing $1 bills identified 3,000 types of bacteria on the money and a handful of bacteria that weren't even identifiable. Can I have some apple crisp? If you can eat it through the screen. Did you bring your spoon? Fun, fun, fun. All right. Hi, thank you. Yes, I was thinking of wearing my Grass's Blue shirt to this music festival, but it wasn't a bluegrass festival and it was in Washington State. And I wasn't sure people would quite understand. I mean, when David saw it, he thought of like herb or marijuana, and I was like, what? How do you even associate that? It's obviously bluegrass music. Hello? I don't know. But how did I get the office chair into the Caribbean like this? I parachuted it in. There's 3,000 bacteria on our eyelashes. Wow. How old are you, 923? How old are you? Yes, it's come to apple crisp. Oh, yay, Mad Dog. I'm glad to hear you're running for coroner. I do wish you the best in your campaign. Hope you don't have to have a too challenging of an election. 495 needs some sleep. Maybe I need some sleep. You do hash oil? I don't do any of that. I don't need to smoke or toke or whatever the other stuff that you do is. I just need to relax. Amazon's Alexa finds her way into tablets. Where will she go next? Four species of the giraffe have been identified. There's not one species of giraffe, but 4 different species of giraffe. Area 51, so you think. I am reading news.google.com. That's what I'm reading. Sarah does not use recreational drugs. Myself, I do not use recreational drugs. Whatever. What do you think? And that response to your question. 110 people are trapped in cable cars 3,000 meters above the French Alps and have to stay there overnight. Ooh, that would be very cold. Very, very cold. Cold, Cold Ethel by Alice Cooper. I don't know if I have or not. One of those is legal in the state, 613. Yes, it smells really good. It smells like cooked apples and cinnamon. It's like something good has been baking. That's what it smells like.
I know.
Very, very good. Okay, Devlin also says only 55% of antidepressant prescriptions are for depression. The rest are for anxiety disorders, insomnia, pain, panic disorders. Wow. When California legalizes pot, you're going to go buy a bag and a bong. That's funny. Okay. Oh. Hello, 303. Oh, they got 65 out of that over the Alps, but the rest have to stay there. Wow. What happened? It just stopped working? The gondola or whatever? Been over 30 years since you were high? I don't think I've ever been high. Yeah, that's true. Marijuana is legal in California with a prescription. It's been illegal for quite some time. I know some people, they don't like that. I mean, they would prefer it to be legal recreationally, let's say.
Raving reviews. Everybody loves your crumble. It's really good.
I make a great crumble. Actually, I use a Food Network recipe, so can't go wrong with that. Oh, Devlin says, a study found that unless you have a hypertension, low-salt diet may actually increase your risk of cardiovascular disease and health. Really? And death. Really? Huh. David's always like pushing the no salt, low salt thing. But I don't have hypertension, so I guess I should maybe eat more salt than David normally feeds me. It's true, I think that recipe, the apple crumble, called for salt and I didn't do salt. If you don't eat salt, you'll get a goiter. Well, that's just because they add iodine to the salt. It's not necessarily the salt that's helping you, it's the iodine that's helping you. Oh, apple crumble with yogurt? That sounds good. We are the salt of the earth. Okay. The world's wilderness is disappearing. The untouched wilderness on the planet is disappearing and disappearing fast. We depend on vast swaths of pristine nature to support diverse forms of life. to keep climate change at bay and more. But it's all disappearing. I do like salmon. I have not seen the movie Ugly Betty. No, I haven't. Always good to see you too, 793. Thanks for stopping in our show. Mad Dog claims there were less trees in the 1800s than now. I wonder if that's true. No, I'm pretty tired, 623, but I'm not high. I don't do drugs. The only thing I do is sleep and chocolate. I'm going to say, Jar Jar, you build the wall. And I will say good job. How about that? No further questions. DGS wants some righteous we. This vanilla ice cream, I think it's made from natural vanilla. I know, well, that's why you want David for your president. I'm voting for David Sponheim for my president. Oh, what happened to your knee? It's hurting you, DJS. No, I'm usually not antique until I'm too tired and then I'm just asleep. So, some people say that 232. Oh, your old age is happening to you. Sad. It happens, but yeah. Okay, oh, you could make your own ice cream. Snow, salt, flavor. Don't you need cream? So do you want that same saying in like a t-shirt form? Jar Jar? You want that as a t-shirt instead of as a hoodie? Then maybe you could afford it. Yeah, David feeds me enough. Oh. I know, I like grammar correcting. Just the way it is. Alright. Devlin is giving us all these little pieces of health information. He says Celtic sea salt includes a spectrum of naturally occurring essential minerals as nature intended. There are absolutely no additives or anything removed from the salt that would alter it. Celtic sea salt supplies the body with vital trace minerals and elements, along with a proper balance of sodium chloride, which is the scientific name for salt. Nice. Remove the banner. That's just because I'm like relaxed. I could sit up. I don't know about that, Captain Howdy. I think they don't like each other. That's what I think. Alright. Okay, I'll remove the banner, but there's not much of a view even if I do that. I guess you could see my necklace. And that's it. I do 366. I do get tired. It's true. No, I shouldn't, but I just do. It happens. So a parasitologist bestowed a squirmy honor on his distant cousin, Obama. He named there's a turtle parasite now named after Obama. Bactrimia obamai. It's not just any parasite. Ooh, an awesome iPad case made of oak. That sounds cool. Cool cityscape coffee table for Tech Thursday. Nice. And an iPad case made of oak. Nice. Alright. Oh, that is very cool. So he took a piece of oak. I'll show you guys. And screen capture so I can watch this. Of course, sodded. Be very, very careful when you're sawing. That's very dangerous too. But he sawed it in half, sanded it down.
Okay. Case for an iPad made of oak. Wow, that's kind of cool.
Cut out the dimensions.
That makes sense. Cutting out the dimension makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Hi, it was 613. Hi. You're waiting for on the special person?
Okay, you want me to take this off? Yes, of course.
I thought you found the special person, Mad Dog. We'll bring you the final product in just a second. Fast forward to 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'll play that tonight in our show. Cool. Wow. It's a perfect iPod protector. Isn't that special? Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Lemon Moon, for loving us. No, I don't have an earpiece.
Nice. I
don't have a pearl earpiece like Hillary does. I wanted to show you guys technology from a long time ago. It's called an electric razor. And believe it or not, this
David
is...
loves this electric razor. I think it's one of his favorite things on earth.
Thank you. This is 33 years old. It's a Remington, and I even have the protector for it still, as you can see.
Very big thing.
And I need to get up close, a little closer.
Okay, it's cutting edge.
It's cutting edge. 33-year-old technology. Now, when they first started making batteries, they were really putting some effort into it. The NiCad battery was beautiful when it first came out. This has a NiCad in it, and it is still the same NiCad 33 years ago. Now, in modern day technology, you'll wear these batteries out. If this was a lithium ion, it would be probably only good for about 2 years. 33 years, and this is how to charge about 6 weeks ago. Listen to this. I had to do that anyway, so I just thought I'd fit it into the show. So they're making batteries to have built-in obsolescence. You probably all know what built-in obsolescence is. They're designed to break down. So your Hitachi vibrator does not have the battery life that my Remington shaver does. Yeah. And that makes me think that maybe they're purposely making batteries declining technology-wise to make you become poor. So you can't use multiple uses of your batteries. The product line has depreciated so much, and lowered quality is really, really sad. We no longer even have anything nearly as good as 1983. Yeah. Your cordless water pick died in like 8 months. Yeah, case in point. So this isn't some fantasy I'm talking about. This really is happening. They purposely are generating batteries. So when lithium-ion battery production was ramped up recently with the big Gigafactory, Gigaplex, that Elon Musk created, he just had a massive fire. Lithium-ion is not even a stable technology, and they keep doing it. This is how stupid our society is. The Wilkinson sword, Quattro, titanium. It's a point of pride for you, I can see, in New York PD. What do you pay, like $39 for the razor and 3 blades? It's amazing what a rip-off those things are. So if I use this the rest of my life, which it'll probably last the rest of my life, Anyway, you can imagine how this will be. I will save probably in the neighborhood of $50,000 on razors if I were to pay for your titanium version. That apple dessert was fantastic. Fantastic, Mr. Trump. Remember that scene in Celebrity Apprentice? That wasn't even the Celebrity Apprentice, that was the Apprentice show. Kwame Jackson was fantastic, Mr. Trump. I thought that was funny. Okay, you didn't see that episode? Don't worry about it. Don't sharpen the blades. I'll just pop the hood on this shaver. This protective covering is outstanding. I popped the hood on it. Whoop, I got a little shaving in there. Oop, it's dropping. Now, see, now you've made a mess. I'll clean that out later. But yeah, I've got a little brush for it, and I clean off the head. It's very sharp. Does a good job. Whiskers everywhere. Yeah, you would not break it. No. You know, when you learn to take care of technology, it takes care of you. I can't say that about the 8 computers that I bought that all broke because the hard drives burned up. That's not exactly the same. It's not exactly a statement that I can make like a proverb. If you take care of technology, technology will screw you over. That's more like it. But nowadays, technology doesn't come out that fast. We're seeing 45 years for electric vehicles to hit the road, and they're being run by a bunch of venture capitalists that think they're going to make a quick buck. Like the guy who created the Leaf. I don't know what they're doing at Nissan, but they got to be hiding the terrible sales. The Leaf is just a disaster when you look at the overall output. People have range anxiety when they get in these all-electric vehicles. And I saw a Leaf, a 2013 Leaf last year, selling for $13,000. Originally listed for $65,000. So the Leaf is available if you really want to charge your car up and drive around town. It's perfect. I would highly recommend it if you're in a local neighborhood. So don't rule out the Leaf. But if you're going down the road to a casino and you're not sure if you're going to make it back, this could be your last road trip. That's absurd. Making statements like that is clearly mutable offense. Smart meters are causing fires across America. Facts swept under the rug by dishonest media. Thank you. Natural News has a story about smart meters. This past Monday, I made a Faraday cage for the outside of my smart meter. And I have it right here before me. I put it on the outside of our smart meter, and I have another one outside there. But I made this with a stapler and aluminum screen material that I can pick up at Ace Hardware. And you fit it right over the outside of the bulb, and you're not in any way violating any laws. Your smart meter will still work. And what it does, the Faraday cage, it actually defrays and diffuses all of the radiation and grounds it. The radiation that would normally go 20, 50 feet away and go through your brain. And the director of the World Health Organization has actually stated that it actually causes brain cancer. It contributes to brain cancer, this type of radio frequency stimulation. So the smart meters themselves cause fires, and that their facts are being covered as well. Experts and Americans familiar with smart meters know they represent a huge privacy violation as well. They're also inherently unsafe. Yet you won't hear about much of this in the mainstream media. And it's all over the place. They're also dangerous, as one Kansas City, Missouri resident learned recently. Waverly Galbraith's home was in danger of burning down thanks to a malfunctioning smart meter that caught fire and scarred the side of Galbraith's house in July. He wasn't at home when the fire started. Well, thank you, Galbraith. It's so nice to hear a personal testimony of somebody suffering from radio frequency contamination of their home and then a fire. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, let's get in the chat. I'm dying to communicate with all of you. Hillary's earpiece. Yeah, we're going to do a close-up of that one. And we'll do a copy of that oak one. We'll add it to our list. That'll be in our new list. The oak technology. And I'll add it to, I'm just going to leave it there. it was really cool technology, I would say, yeah, sure. Okay, sick Hillary Clinton uses earpace during the NBC Veterans Forum, cheating to win. That's what they're calling this, a black child production. The black child production. Wow. I had no idea black children were doing this. September 7th, NBC hosted a Commander-in-Chief forum in New York City with both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in attendance.
Together an international coalition that included Russia and China to exert the kind of pressure through sanctions that the United States alone could not do.
Right, but you said
now wait,
you
let me
think you're going to cheat.
Look, this is an important issue. I know we're on TV. We don't have a lot of time.
I want to get to a lot of questions.
I will talk quickly.
What have you experienced in your personal life or your professional life that you believe prepares you to make the decisions that a commander-in-chief has to make?
Well, I've built a great company. I've been all over the world. I've dealt with foreign countries.
Yeah, I'm going to play this later. I don't want to listen to somebody brag about their nonsense that they get for free because they borrow money. Dr. Meow, I'm afraid Wi-Fi reading has not been impaired whatsoever since I put my radio frequency device on my electric meter. Yeah. And I have not had a changed bill whatsoever, except for a minor variation. May the best man win. Thanks, 9544. Good luck meeting your minimum payments on your credit card. I'm hoping you'll make it there this month. Matt Lauer is slammed by the mainstream press after a vet tells Hillary, I would have been imprisoned if I did what you did. And Matt Lauer didn't really take a cutting-edge approach. And I don't know, has his coke dealer been approached recently? I'm seeing all over the tabloids that Matt Lauer is caught with cocaine. What is this all about? I mean, why is he still broadcasting as a cokehead? What is with these cokers? Yeah, slammed by the mainstream media. The first time he's ever been slammed by mainstream press.
Hi, Matt. I'm with Lieutenant John Lester, who will stand with me here. He began his military career by enlisting in the Air Force and then switched over to the Navy before he retired, where he flew P-3 Orions in Desert Storm and in Desert Shield. He's a Republican, and he has this question for you, Secretary Clinton.
Thank you.
Secretary Clinton, thank you very much for coming tonight. As a naval flight officer, I held a top secret sensitive compartmentalized information clearance, and that provided me access to materials and information highly sensitive to our warfighting capabilities. Had I communicated this information not following prescribed protocols, I would have been prosecuted and imprisoned. Secretary Clinton, how can you expect those such as myself, who were and are entrusted with America's most sensitive information, to have any confidence in your leadership as president when you clearly corrupted our national security?
Well, I appreciate your concern and also your experience, but let me try to make the distinctions that I think are important for me to answer your question. First, as I said to Matt, you know and I know, classified material is designated, it is marked, there is a header so that there is no dispute at all that what is being communicated to or from someone who has that access is marked classified. And what we have here is the use of an unclassified system by hundreds of people in our government to send information that was not marked. There were no headers. There was no statement, top secret, secret, or confidential. I communicated about classified material on a wholly separate system. I took it very seriously.
All right, well, I didn't hear Matt Lauer interject there at all. So how is that even a story? I would consider consulting with Ted Cruz in my cabinet. Definitely. I like Ted. I'm not in love with the idea that he's such an egomaniac, but I like him as a person. I think he has strong moral values. And I think he's trying to combat his urge to cheat on his wife, even if she was involved in extra weird affairs or something, or Trump called her a prostitute. But let's look at every single person out there. I know. Every single person has got a record of mistakes, except for me. And because of that, I think I've got the best chance of leading the nation, simply because I don't have a track record of mistakes. But also because I'm willing to bring in a little bit of the Democrats, a little bit of the Republicans, a little bit of the Libertarians, a little bit of the Green Party, a little bit of the Reform Party, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right? So that's a big, important step in the right direction. Whereas Donald Trump, he'd be an egomaniac, he'd run this country like a dictator, and he wouldn't allow the Democrats to speak up. We'll take information and do a lot of vetting of information that the Democrats have already done a lot of work doing. I mean, under Bill Clinton, he spent $72 million on a study to determine that Puerto Rican women are not getting the same medical care that Caucasian women are. That was his contribution. Am I going to throw that study away? I'm going to say, yeah, $72 million down the drain? No. We have to address the issue of fairness in the healthcare, and we're not doing it with Obamacare, and we're not doing it with Clinton care, whatever that is. And Trump care is more like an extension of Obamacare. So I have a real plan to address the imbalances of the previous administrations and get them involved in the discussion. No, that's $72 million on... He spent it already. It's gone. $72 million determined that Puerto Rican women are not getting the same health care as Caucasian women. That's what Bill Clinton did. That's the kind of Clinton dynasty you're leaving and you're looking at with Hillary. All talk, no action. Funding separate funnels of payback money from the Global Clinton Initiative. Backdoor deals that you'll never hear about in the mainstream. Things that are just going on behind the scenes, kind of like with Obamacare, where the SEIU, the Service Employees International Union, gathered together behind closed doors with Barack Obama for 30 days, making deals upon deals that are screwing you out of 30% more premiums in your healthcare costs right now. I would love to see politicians have the same insurance that you have right now. I'd love to see a public option. I'm surprised a public option wasn't put forth. I don't put a magnet on the smart meter. The Faraday cage is inert, in no way impairs or hacks the amount of electricity being read. The reading of the meter goes on religiously. If they had a problem, they'd come and get, a reading manually, and they'd say, "Sir, there's a problem with the manual reading. It's different than the electronic reading." I'd say, "Oh, really? Oh, okay." And then I would proceed to position all of my rooms as far away from that electric meter as I could possibly do. Because I really believe that the radio frequencies coming off of these smart meters are dangerous. And I'll stand by that. I ain't no senator's son. And I know Trump's, Trump is obviously his dad's little pet project. And when you look at his incredible ego, you go, wow, we've got a guy like him right now in the office, calling Vladimir Putin a jackass. Trump's strange love affair with Putin at this point, it's bordering on bromance, although I know Putin is not gay. But you're beginning to look at a guy who seems to be like doing backdoor deals with some of the mobsters that need to stay in New York City. You know what I'm talking about? I'm getting to think that the guy is a shill for the mob. And that's a huge national security risk, don't you think? And then Hillary, God, all those missing emails and the hack, she's a security risk for this country as well. I mean, your vote's going in the direction of national security risk when you vote for Democrat or Republican in this election. Flat out. Plus, you don't know if your vote's going to be counted because the technology is still 30 years behind with the Diebold voting system. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Trump's got going for Putin, but frankly, his endorsement of Putin sounds almost like Trump is bordering on communistic. I don't love Putin. I don't go out of my way to say, oh, what a great leader he is. I will talk to Putin. I would communicate with him on Syria and tell him that we're pulling our support for rebels away and we understand his concerns about the growth of a new world order. And I would definitely have a realistic conversation with him. But would I be friends? I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't think I will be, simply because there's such a divide between our countries and our cultures that you can't possibly connect the dots. But if you are putting up Russian mobsters in your hotel every day, Well, get him the best room in the house. Don't charge to me. Put it on the bill. You got a real serious concern there with Trump. Plus, did anyone tell Trump that he has to put every single one of his finances in a public trust if he becomes president? Seriously. All right, some of you are starting to fantasize about my razor. You just want to get your hands on this, right? You can't have it. It's mine. All right. Let's keep the sex dialogue out of the show, please. I got important people like Delvin Bowman over at YouTube says, our health depends on the abundance of these vital minerals found in the Celtic sea salt to assimilate vitamins and nutrients to our cells. You know, there's been a lot of new developments there. The sea salt, Delvin, you know, a lot of technology is being, investigated in areas. The pharmaceutical technology is looking into the possibility that there is almost a youth pill out there. They're looking at taking samplings of all kinds of Amazonian rainforest samples and medicinal sources. They're working rapidly to try to get every bit of knowledge we have about holistic solutions. But the problem is the big pharma industry wants to make money all the time. And I think legalization of marijuana would be the best technology we could possibly bring into this country. In the old days, hemp was used as a source of paper, textiles, but you can make bricks, you can make hempcrete out of this kind of material. I'm really surprised that we haven't legalized marijuana up to this point. I really am. Let's see if I have an image of some hempcrete. Well, you can read the differences between marijuana and alcohol, and this alone should convince you that we should legalize it. Marijuana. We've even got pictures of it working. Here it's surrounding a tumor cell and killing off the tumor cell. And we've seen studies like the Madrid study in 2011 and the recent one in Denmark, 2015, that duplicated the study showing that cannabinoids can actually shrink brain tumor cells. Isn't that amazing? Now, I don't know what Valerie Harper is doing, but she was given a year to live 3 years ago. You know that, right? Yeah, she was given a year to live 3 years ago, and I'm not sure how she's doing it, but I wouldn't doubt she's hitting a, marijuana cigarette now and then. Seriously. So we are definitely the legalization party, and I don't mean trying to profit from it like Gary Johnson is, where you get all kinds of perks from giving people $200 prescriptions. I want it to be open and free and legal for everybody in America to be able to just grow it if they want, and if they sell it, they need to pay 15% tax. Gold is 1338 and silver is 1958, kind of moving forward again still, and the Dow is still almost locked in step with what it was weeks ago, 18,479. So silver is still not up to 20 like it was a couple weeks ago, and gold has not breached 1,400 yet. All right. Now, why is it you hate everybody? 1935. What's going on with you? Let's talk about your personal life. Valerie Harper was one of the great actresses from Mary Tyler Moore's fame. And if you don't know who she is, I'll tell you. She is suffering from brain cancer, but I hope she's okay. We have a picture of her most recently, 2016. You're not allowed to support a guy like Gary Johnson here. He wants forced vaccinations. You got to be out of your mind. Wow. She's actually out and about. She's doing some visitations. She's actually been seen publicly. Look at this. So I don't know if she's got a really good high here, but man, she looks pretty good for her age and having faced brain cancer. I mean, seriously. I'm not saying she's smoking marijuana, but somehow she's defeating this terrible disease that she's got. So that's Valerie Harper. of Valerie Harper fame. That was her early days when she was young. All right, thank you. 1 in 6 working age males has no job. Wow. It's worse than the Great Depression. 1 in 6 prime age men has no job. And worse than that, they don't care. Yeah. Back in the 30s, people really, really wanted a job. But now you offer a job to somebody, even at $14 an hour, and they go, yeah, right, whatever. That's why I want everybody to free $400 per month, so that they can become, at least fed. Because a lot of these people they're not going to feed themselves. I mean, we're polluting the earth so much that most people don't want to work because they're practically brain dead. Yeah. I mean, I'm speaking the truth tonight. I mean, I'm telling you that technology will take over all operations. This is not an order. This is a decree. Nobody by that name, even in my life, man. This is a decree that technology will take over your job. We, however, want to give you guys $400 a month so you can just have enough food and live in your tent. Now, there's 3.7 million people allegedly homeless. I believe it's more like 4 million. Well, that's pretty weird, man. You're telling me that you had a sexual experience with your history teacher at the age of 14 and she was 24? You need to report that as a crime. Wow. Yeah, you can live in a tent for $400. I can do it. Easy. Are you kidding me? I should document it. I could easily live in a tent for $400 per month. You were 32 when you were first involved with sex? I have camped before, oh yeah. I'll never forget that time I was up in Yosemite and a bear came in on our camp. It was unbelievable. I was like 15 feet away from a large black bear. I didn't even shiver. I was like, oh, okay, we're going to walk away. No big deal. A 196-foot picnic basket has been marked down to $5 million, folks. In an attempt to reach the Guinness Book of World Record, this picnic basket is no picnic. It's selling at $5 million and nobody wants it. Now that's just sad, see? Here you go again. Ah, look at that. That could be Mother Goose's picnic box. It was the former headquarters of the Longa Burger Company in Newark, Ohio. You might see it 3 or 4 miles off before you come around the bend, and then you say, that is a basket. That is unquestionably a basket, said Tom Rochin. It is a basket, or rather a 7-story office building shaped like one. A massive facsimile of the signature picnic basket made by the company once headquartered there. Some 40 miles outside of Columbus, Ohio, the Basket Building, as it's locally known, is one of the largest, grandest attractions, inviting quirky selfie seekers, architectural nerds, and of course, basket enthusiasts. God, I hate reading stories that are so absolutely mindless like that. Thank you. That just made my day. Well, let's be clear. Dave, wonder if a person could go back and sue schools for swatting. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not an attorney. Yeah. Why don't you contact an attorney and pay them $500 an hour and they'll gladly talk to you. As long as you put a $5,000 retainer on their bank account. You'll gladly get any attorney to just tell them you're willing to put $5,000 down and $500 an hour, and they'll talk to you. You know, suing people is a waste of time. It really is. It goes nowhere. I would like to see tort reform. I was not kicked out of 2 colleges. I left in good standing. And I'll tell you something, I cannot stand what they're doing to people. Like, look at ITT. They're closing their doors because they don't want to face the music. They've been taking federal grants for a non-accredited course study, kind of like Trump University tried to do. Yes, it does. Well, tort reform, in case you didn't know, because nobody talks about it, and you haven't heard about it in any of the debates. Tort reform is a process by which we shrink the payouts on any case significantly, capping them. Like a medical malpractice could be easily capped at $2 million and a lifetime of full health care. I guess I'm a digital person now, although I have experienced quite a bit of vinyl collections in the past, but I'm trying to downsize my vinyl collection. I prefer digital music. I've always loved digital. Ever since it first arrived, it's so compact and provides me really an amazing supply of music in a small hard drive. So 8 gigabytes is common in an MP3 player now, and you have so many musical ensembles you can play. 500 or more songs could easily be fit into a 4 gigabyte. So it's, 8 gigs, 16 gigs. I mean, you can fit 32 gigs of music. How much music do you have in your personal library? I heard Wells Fargo is on it, though. You know, I believe there's something going on that is beyond what Wells Fargo did. Yeah, I believe that there's a systemic employee ripoff and fraud been going on for a long time. In fact, I would be willing to venture that there are still people that are not being fired that are doing another scam at Wells Fargo. So, 2,300,000 songs. The Libertarian candidate didn't even know where we were fighting. I know. Gary Johnson, we featured that early on in our show. He's not really quite there. People say he's maybe doing some sort of a weird controlled substances. We're not sure. But this particular instance, Gary Johnson did not know what Aleppo was. A city, one of the second largest cities in Syria. And it was pretty much a highlight of this MSNBC conference in which Johnson was asked questions. Now, he gets all kinds of free airtime. I don't get any.
It's the... And what is Aleppo? You're kidding. No. Aleppo is in Syria. What would you do if you were elected about Aleppo? About? Aleppo. And what is Aleppo? You're kidding. No.
Okay. He's not kidding. What is Aleppo? All right, so people who want to be president, who don't know anything about the world politics, geopolitical battles that are going on in key countries like Syria, it just shows you how absolutely mindless shills can be. Now, I'm going to give you a test of your IQ. If you can follow or track what this person is saying, then you're probably right on track with what I'm talking about right now.
The only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it's produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive directance. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated annulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panametric fan. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambiphasient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented.
Okay.
The main winding was of the normal Lotus O delta.
I think we all pretty much passed that test. I'm sure you all know how to make the magneto system that he is describing. There will be a test in 10 minutes. Please grab your number 2 pencil. But if you're Matt Lauer, you don't have to grab anything except the phone number to your Coke dealer. Okay. Yes. You're not familiar with the magneto system. Well, maybe you should contact one of the reciprocating drain systems that are located outside of the parametric bipolar adjustment shaft, which is underneath the O-ring, conveniently stretched across the girth of the broad stratosphere. Dave, we don't care who was released from anywhere, dude. I have no knowledge of these people. David, I have my history teacher added as a friend on Facebook. We mess around. Oh, come on. Camp Downey, you're behaving very, very unusual. You need to report that as a sex crime to the sex police. Mattress Company airs offensive 9/11 commercial. If it wasn't the offensive Walmart display we saw earlier in our pre-show. We're going to see something just as
What better way to
offensive.
remember 9/11 than with a twin tower sale? Right now, you can get any size mattress for a twin price. Full mattress? Twin price. Queen mattress? Twin price. King mattress? Twin price. Store-wide sale all day long. Oh my God! We'll never forget.
That was definitely not a demolition on that particular instance. Wow. I'll tell you, they got no respect. They got no respect, I'll tell you. Take a lipo on faith. You know, Gary just doesn't really cut it when he talked about forced vaccinations. He said that kids should be, well, forced to have vaccinations. I don't know. I think he's off his rocker. All right, we've got that. That wasn't funny at all, I know. It wasn't supposed to be funny. It's a typical commercial. They're Cracker Jack commercials. They make them all the time. Nobody ever says to these people, you suck. I'm sure you hear these radio commercials all day long when you're driving to work. And these people talking really phony, like, oh, really, Johnny? I didn't know that you went down there and got the discount. Oh, 30% off. That's a great deal. I think I'm going to try that too. And, you know, they just don't have any talent. And you, as a radio listener, are like frustrated because you can't fire them. I wish we could mash something up where we could, you know, have like firing Twitter messages to fire some of these morning talk show people. God, they're the worst. It's like Frank Zappa. Yeah. Well, yeah, you change the channel and you get the same exact show with some other bubble-headed, bleach blonde idiot saying, well, hey, good morning, everybody. It's really great to be here. I can't wait to talk about some really cool things. Oh, look at you, honey. You have some really cool, very sexy lingerie on. What's the special day? Oh, Max. 99? Is that you? Missed it by that much. But no, it gets disturbing to listen to people that think they're funny every day. I just think there should be a way in which the viewers can just somehow get these people out of their job. What if you gave them a little... if you twittered enough on your Twitter device, if you tweeted enough, you could give them a little small jolt of electricity? Would that be okay? No, that's sadistic. Forget that idea. We have to remove this. Thank you. All right. Good evening. Sarah is here to give me a very nice break. I appreciate it. Sarah gives me breaks during the night.
Yes.
As you know, I don't talk this way all day long. Normally I walk around in a kind of a monastery, kind of no talking kind of a approach toward life. Very calm, very zen.
Well, yes, I'm a Zen person.
I'm a very Zen person.
All good. Hello, NYPD and all the other people.
They're auctioning off our belongings? Nancy, oy vey. Christie's is offering something that probably shouldn't be offered. Let's see. The private collection of Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Reagan. Wow, look at that. Well, let's take a look and see what they've got, Nancy. Oh, I'd have to join just to become a real... Oh, that's nice. Remember that silver-plated presidential water pitcher you tossed water across the bow of that wonderful christening of that beautiful ship, the SS I forgot. Well, I bet those coasters were used during the Titanic. They were fished out of the bottom of the... Well, that looks pretty good. Sarah does not do a very good Nancy, so... Truck crashes and spills pennies all over I-95 in Delaware, creates an incredible traffic jam, people thinking they're going to scrape up enough pennies to maybe pay their toll fee. Yeah. I'll be darned, look at that. Just look at it. Just look at that.
Did they have to vacuum them up or something?
Yeah, they have this big penny vacuums. They keep them on hand. Penny vacuum was brought in immediately to grab those pennies. You hear that sucking sound? Those are your pennies getting sucked off the street. Doing. A tractor trailer overturned and caught fire, spilling blank pennies all over I-95.
The average American visits about 7 different websites before booking a hotel. I totally get that.
I totally don't like commercials. I totally hate commercials.
I don't blame you.
Totally. Hey, DJS Love. Yeah, we had a discussion from, yeah, we don't want to go there. We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you know.
Totally.
Remember this? Let me see if I have it. This will bring back memories.
Like, you know, I really don't like commercials.
Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
That was one of her first voiceovers. A truck has expanded. Hang on.
Mess.
Alicia, that's right. I just want to briefly mention I'm wearing the safety vest because we're on an interstate in a construction zone and it's required by law. Just for our viewers to know that. As you look behind me, you see all lanes of I-95 northbound are now back open to traffic here at the I-295 interchange. That happened just about an hour ago now. This was an all-day effort to clean up 40,000 pounds of blank pennies plus gasoline and oil spilled when a tractor trailer crashed. As the effort to clean up all those pennies went on throughout the day, motorists were still telling horror stories about this morning's commute and how they at least tried to make their way around the mess to get to work.
And it takes me about 12 to 15 minutes every morning. This morning, it took me 2.5 hours.
Wow. I was coming across, the traffic kept getting heavier and heavier. I ran to a standstill. As I was approaching, coming down this road here, in fact, as I was approaching, I noticed nothing was going anywhere.
All because of this. A tractor trailer en route to the U.S. Mint flipped over and caught on fire, spilling a full trailer of unstamped pennies across the northbound lanes of I-95, right at the I-295 split.
You can only imagine how horrible it is for all those people that went out of their cars and risked their life grabbing these blank pennies, thinking they could cash in on them.
And it's not copper.
It's just plastic. Yeah, the pennies are made of plastic now. You didn't know that? Okay, an AirAsia plane to Malaysia flies to Melbourne by mistake. See, some of those chemtrail actually some of those pilots are breathing chemtrails. I wouldn't doubt it. Or maybe the chemtrails are routing around into the front of the cabin or something. Dropping chemtrails on people's heads is bound to affect their brains. Pilot accidentally enters wrong coordinates in a plane's navigation system. They don't even know how to fly. Unbelievable.
People get lost all the time, but they're typically not commercial airline pilots at the controls of an Airbus A330. In March of 2015, an AirAsia X flight that was supposed to fly from Sydney, Australia to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia,
ended up touching down in Melbourne.
A recently released investigation report identified
the source of trouble as incorrectly entered longitudinal
information. The crew became aware that something had gone awry when the plane's warning system alerted them to nearby terrain that was not actually there. Attempts to course correct only made the situation worse. The flight eventually landed in Melbourne, where it stayed for roughly 3 hours before departing for Malaysia.
Yeah, and I bet the fuel came out of their paycheck. Yeah, it's pretty expensive to take that plane up in the air. You know, most planes, 85% of the fuel is just to get them up into the atmosphere. I'm serious. And this is a nonstop problem that's never been addressed by our government until I came into the Beyond Oil event and talked to the people at Boeing and told them about my blimp plane idea. In 2009, we went to the Beyond Oil event, Sarah and I did, and I walked right up to the Boeing representatives and talked about the blimp plane. And here's the blimp plane as I animated it, so you can look at it. But it's a simple concept to use the aging infrastructure that we currently have to our benefit and get these things to get up in the air. 85% of the fuel that it uses is just getting it up in the air, and the blimp plane goes up naturally and then takes off at very slow speeds and then ramps up to half the current jet speed of any normal jet. no more than 300 miles per hour. The jet will actually get from Los Angeles to New York in about 10 hours and cost no more than $100 each way. This is the future of airline travel that's safe and secure. And one thing I want to do is actually put parachutes on every one of the blimp planes. Guaranteed that no time ever will a plane crash. Every time will land safely to the ground and minimum damage to the passengers on board. So we want to put breakaway parachutes, about 21 of them. They can fly right up in case the actual dirigible bursts. It'll be running on hydrogen gas, which we can readily mine from the oceans. And we'll have ample supplies of liquid hydrogen. And these parachutes would actually give it the ability to land. And we could even put a buoyant styrofoam underbelly on it so that if it did land in the water, it would float. And I'm not kidding either. So the whole concept is to convert something into a totally usable vehicle for the next 100 years. Taking jets that would normally be pulled out of the runtime 10 or at 50 years, they'd get another 50 years of existence. It'd be made out of Kevlar, the outside surface, and we'd also have it covered with hydrophobic material, which gives it a slick surface and it has the ability to prevent any type of friction whatsoever. And hydrophobic material is the most modern nanotechnology currently out there. And it's kind of phenomenal how this stuff repels everything, including water and air. And it could easily be put over the entire surface of the dirigible. One of the reasons we've looked into this possibility is that we want to get air travel down to an affordable amount. I talk to people all the time that are getting ripped off by flying across the country or overseas.
Okay, this is Never Wet Super Hydrophobic Fabric System. This particular bottle, we also make a paint that paints on surfaces.
But with this product, you can spray it on any clothing, and it will make your clothing super hydrophobic. Water and heavy oils will just shoot off of it. Chocolates, ketchup, mustard, all of that sort of thing. Hydrophobic means that a surface is water resistant. Super hydrophobic means that the water will shoot off of a surface, won't even sit there. When you plunge this in the toilet and pull out, it remains dry. And with it staying dry, it doesn't have any bacteria on it.
There you have it. Yeah, hydrophobic material. So that type of material could be used on the outside of the dirigible. Yeah, the Hindenburg had hydrogen in it, but it also had a canvas outer covering. And we're going to make this out of Kevlar. It will not be flammable. Yes. Maybe Rust-Oleum does have the rights to that product. We'll work that out later, Sketchy. Thank you. Yeah, so you are looking and watching the originator of all these great ideas that Trump is pushing as his own. He stole 10 of my ideas, possibly even more. Sarah and I worked on ideas like the ocean pipeline together 10 years ago. And now he claims he has an own that can create lots of wonderful water. It's crazy how he's just taking our ideas, and we're continuing to be censored. And you as a voter must be outraged. I mean, I am outraged just thinking that we've been censored all these years and now.
Maybe David will bring me my comb.
You want to comb? Okay.
You're an early angel investor in ionized milk? Why? David, do you believe history repeats itself? They say those who do not learn from history are destined to repeat it. It's David's razor. I don't know, Antique. Seriously, who did that? David does have great ideals for mankind. Thank you for saluting him, Zellfire. Thank you. Oh, David's streaming to
Here you go.
multiple sites. Oh,
I'll take that off your hands over here.
I can go take it.
I got it. Thank you.
That's a big old.
That's no problem.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yes, not Black Thunder, but He just left the show. What? I don't know what you're saying, Asset DJ. Sorry, you guys have no video. This is the perfect time for me to just comb my hair if you have no video. I think. So I'll do that. And then people can complain about me not talking about anything important and just combing my hair. But I like combing my hair, so I guess that doesn't matter what people say about me. It will settle down, yes. No, it's just only at 8:15 that it happens. It's always 8:15. I think someone said it like our ISP is throttling me at that time. And then it only lasts for about 5 minutes, and then they're like, oh, yeah, right, it's 8:15. People need more energy. We can't throttle people. So then they bring them back, and all is well and right with the world after it has an 8:15 lag. Yes, I am combing my beautiful hair. I'm focusing on my hair. What would you like me to focus on? The stream is being intercepted by all of those. It is. All right. Are you embarrassed? I don't think that's a question. I know, right? Oh, antique, yeah, it's like, what? What is that? Yeah, I like wearing brown clothes because it does go well with my hair. It's true. Alright. I'm not... Whatever. You can think I'm flirting with you. I don't think I'm flirting with you. I do like to flirt, but I know I'm not supposed to flirt because I'm taken. But I do make that clear. But you know, they say that people that are taken like to flirt because they're comfortable in their relationship. So for some reason they flirt even though they're comfortable in their relationship. So, but I'm not trying to. I'm pretty honest and let you know that I'm taken. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, 251. Take down my shield. What's my shield? Actually, I don't know if I really think of that. I think of David, and I really enjoy David. I think he's a great guy. He has great ideas. Yes, I am taken. Thank you, Pez. Oh, right. Thanks for telling me. Because I actually haven't been on that site. Pez, maybe I should see if people are actually watching me over there. Right? Yes. Okay, nobody's in there, so that's good. Alrighty, good. Alrighty, good. Alrighty, good. Alrighty, good. I didn't mute my stream. That's always important to mute your stream. Okay. The blimp plane and the 185 IQ you don't think match up? Yeah, It's, whatever. I don't need any secrets. I don't keep secrets. I'm really not good at secret keeping. I mean, I can keep information confidential, though, but I don't keep secrets. What makes me tilt? My hair is all on one side of my head right now, so maybe that's making me tilt. Is that what you mean by tilt? Or are you asking something else? Like, are you asking what's my passions? No, Zellfire, not really. You have traveled back in time. From what year did you travel from, Jar Jar? Okay, good. My answer was good. Appropriate. Yes. Yeah, that's true about the neck being on kind of a tripod. I guess that does make sense. You got your backbone and then you've got these kind of... No, that doesn't make sense. You've just got your backbone in your neck. Oh, unipod? No, I don't know. I know I'm gonna get split ends, but I'm gonna go wash my hair and then I'll put in my I'm gonna go wash my hair right after this. So I'm getting ready to go wash my hair. That's what I'm doing. No, I don't know what you're talking about, behavior. Oh, and what was that? Howdy. What do I use instead? 7232. Well, I don't know exactly which test that 185 IQ was on, though. So, obviously, it adds up with, it equals David. Antique. 1 + 1 equals David. Oh, just warm water? What about conditioner, though? I definitely love conditioner. I like that emoticon, that laughing out loud emoticon. Oh, I don't drink wine, 165. I don't drink any form of alcohol. If I don't use shampoo, I don't need conditioner. I just need to get my hair wet. Is that what you're saying? So you have to use shampoo to counteract, or you have to use conditioner to counteract the shampoo? It's no soap or no shampoo? I don't know about that, though. I feel cleaner when I use shampoo. No, I don't have any tattoos. Oh, shampoo strips the natural oils from hair. Have you heard of I think it's Queen Hungary's some kind of shampoo, but it's from the Queen of Hungary, Queen Hungary's Secret or something like that. I'm gonna Google that. I will Google it. Hungry Queen. It's with apple cider vinegar. It's Queen of Hungary mist. Was inspired by Queen of Hungary water. It purifies and tones. Oh, they actually have this mist at Sephora. Alright, so they have rosemary and alcohol. They added citrus Some say it was created for the aging Queen of Hungary by an alchemist in the 1300s to restore her youthfulness. Okay, I don't know how to do that, Doomzilla. Thank you. Yeah, that's true. All the soap companies tell us we need shampoo and all those things. And multiform hair is great. Musings on herbs, health, and harmony for natural living. Queen of Hungary's water. This recipe's been used for centuries, so it's lemon balm, lavender, chamomile, roses, calendula, comfrey leaf, lemon peel, rosemary, sage, peppermint, elderflowers, and helichrysum flowers, and then organic apple cider vinegar. It's a good astringent for all types of skin and beneficial for oily or acne-prone skin. Combine all herbs in a mason jar. Add vinegar until the liquid rises above the herbs by at least 1 or 2 inches. As the herbs swell, add additional vinegar. Cap the jar tightly and shake once or more per day. After 2 to 6 weeks, strain out the herbs and reserve the liquid. The infused vinegar can either be used alone or combined with rose hydrosol and a few drops of lavender essential oil for an especially lovely facial toner. If desired, use vodka instead of apple cider vinegar to create a body splash or perfume rather than a facial toner. Or you can use witch hazel extract in place of the vinegar if you prefer a facial toner without the vinegary scent. Vinegar will ruin your hair and dry it out when it's as long as yours. Yeah, but I have used that Queen of Hungary. It was pretty good. I used it a while ago, and it seemed to get rid of my gray hairs. Vinegar kills weeds. I think it's all the herbs in there that create it. But yeah. Well, I did read about the North Korea appearing to have conducted its 5th nuclear test. Is that what you guys were talking about? That's a interesting point. 670. Though, I don't necessarily think that about nuclear testing blowing things everywhere. It's like there was so much nuclear testing done in the 1960s in the islands in the Pacific. If those testings didn't hurt us, we're still alive after all of that. I mean, what happens in North Korea will still be alive after that. Indian Ayurvedic herbal shampoo. That's interesting. No. There's also a strong possibility that the Oklahoma quake was an underground test in a secret Pentagon Black Ops site. Maybe the old FBI building, the Edward R. Murrow building. Oh, Edward, rumors from undisclosed sources talk about antimatter testing. I could see that happening. Oklahoma has a lot of antimatter, so it makes sense. Do some research on the soap and shampoo. I'll like it. You mean on not using soap and shampoo, right? Yeah. I mean, I understand your point. Okay. Yeah, I understand. We have been told that we have to wash and all that. And girls used to wash their hair only like once a month. No, not once a month, but once a week. Something like that. Which is kind of the right. Oh, the Oklahoma equivalent of CERN. Do I have a wishes list for when I become VP? Well, I wish for world peace, but I would work on our homeland issues, including housing and healthcare and education. Housing is a big one. I believe that if people had more affordable housing, that would lead to more peace. No, I'm not from Oklahoma or Missouri. All right. Sketchy. I'll keep plugging away at public schools. I think they offer the best thing. Well, charter schools, especially the one with the Gulen movement, are basically fronts for the overtake of Turkey, and it's been kind of a way for them to just totally make their own money. It all depends on where you're at. I mean, if you're in some rural areas, they do offer online learning, and some charter schools are okay, but just look into who owns it and make sure it's not a Gulen one. I'm not your mother. I don't have any children. Well, why didn't you petition McDonald's to do that if you don't like the sauce on the Big Macs? Or just ask for yours without sauce. They custom order things all the time. Thank you.
Super. Thank you for helping. I can take over.
Yeah, sometimes that's the case. 670. All right, thanks for taking over. I am gonna leave.
Awesome. Well,
I'm
this
gonna go
is
take
island.
A shower.
Take an island. Whatever. I may do a spa at the evening hours. So.
9:40ish.
Well, I don't tell people exactly when I go to
I'm
the spa.
just kidding.
Somewhere near that time.
All right, you can take a spa midnight. You can take a spa anytime you want. Isn't that nice?
Right. I can do it at 1 a.m. You can't do that at a 5-star hotel. And believe me, I've tried.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget that 5-star hotel we stayed in down there in San Francisco when we went to the Americans Elect conference in 2012. And the spa closed at 9 o'clock. Can you imagine? I mean, really? Thank you so much. Well, that was fun. Yeah. Well, no, I was just enjoying the beautiful island retreat I have here. I have this incredible spot back here where we live. Yeah. David, you are despotic. I'm not a despot. You know, look at Trump. There's a despot. Oh my God. I don't tip anybody anything. Are you kidding me? When I stay in a 5-star hotel, I'm not tipping anybody anything. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give $1. David, do you have a favorite nickname for Brazil nuts? I call it selenium nuts. Yeah. Because they're filled with selenium, which has been proven to lower male prostate cancer rates by 51%. He is desperate, I agree. Yeah, you think that Obama will have a third term, really? Well, unless we can get the dialogue of communication going in our country politically, we are kind of dead in the water here with Hillary not talking about GMOs, not addressing the chemicals that are being dumped in the atmosphere back here. Chemtrails on the horizon makes us stupid. Yeah, you like the color? You know, I gotta tell you, I like red on me. No, I wear my sunglasses, you know, it's a message thing. I had a personal argument with somebody one time about sunglasses, and they said that only criminals wear sunglasses at night, and I said, screw you! And then it turned into a verbal battle. It was not pretty. Well, I know it's red because I'm wearing a red shirt. So if you're okay with this chemtrail activity in the skies, you know, and you don't mind them spraying countless sprays, chemtrails in the skies makes me sick to my stomach. I can't believe that we're all being sprayed and nobody seems to care. And I'm practically the only one who talks about them. It's like, really? I've been here for 8 years. I haven't even gotten tired. It's amazing. Well, Chris, I do look cool in shades, and when you grow up, you'll be cool just like me. Yeah. Not all of you have that certain essence, though. That it's almost an edge. No, I decided to come in and do a real good show tonight. Technology Thursday, we're dealing with technology like chemicals being sprayed in our sky. I want to talk about that. You know, I don't want to forget that you're being doused like an insect. You cannot control me. I am in control of the horizontal and the vertical. Yes, you cannot control me. I am bigger and more powerful. Yes. Chemtrails. Let's talk about it. Let's you and I talk about chemtrails, shall we? Let's have a personal conversation about chemtrails. You wish. There you go. Bring it. You don't realize that it's more fun for me to play this game than it is for you to play your game, whatever that is. Always realize I'm having more fun than you, okay? No, dude. I'm not like that high, dude. Yeah, don't diss the Dave. Yeah, so I'm just going to try to kind of settle into this wonderful experience. We learned how to make a wonderful meal. Yeah. We made a fantastic apple crisp, which turned out to be, I added my microwave knowledge and brought it together, and I'm telling you, it is the best apple crisp we ever had. We had 2/3 in the microwave using modern technology, and 1/2 in a convection oven, or 1/3 in a convection oven. So 2/3 microwave, 1/3 convection oven, and it crisped up just like an apple crisp should be, and it was fantastic. So we had some of that with vanilla ice cream, and that was our big thing tonight. You know, many of you are really angry at marijuana supporters, and most of us here are marijuana supporters. So when we talked a lot about legalization of marijuana, and you don't even want to talk about the chemicals they're dumping on your head. Hang on. Still not able to do it. Yeah, so you can't get them out of your life. They're in your air. You're breathing them. They're breathing nanoparticles with all kinds of dangerous heavy metals inside. and you're going, oh, I hope I don't die of lung cancer. Oh. And you're trusting in the giant father in the sky or whatever. And you're like, you're allowing, when good men do nothing and the evil persists. You've heard that expression? Well, you're allowing the destruction of the planet. The environment is just turned into a crap hole. And you, by not participating in that effort to stop this unbelievable chemical destruction of our beautiful Earth, are responsible indirectly for the death of this planet. You will be remembered as the people that will live in purgatory. Sorry. Getting a little religious there. I didn't want to, go too deep into it. But yeah, I just really feel like we have a need right now to step up to the plate. And I know you feel the same thing I do. It's just starting that feeling, getting that desire to do something. This whole thing takes a lot of planning. And who was it? Woody Allen said that if you show up 85% of the time, you'll be successful. Or was it 95? I didn't write the number down. Thank you. And now for something completely different. This better be technology. Girls' Costume Warehouse is just not good enough. Sorry. That's weird.
Call now. Are you a girl? Is it Halloween? Now why don't you come down to Girls' Costume Warehouse? We got every kind of girls' costume for Halloween. Sexy witch, sexy devil, sexy cat.
It doesn't take much to make me purr.
We got literally every girl's costume in the entire goddamn universe. Sexy fun.
What the hell is this? And why am I watching that? Gosh. This is strictly a technology show. Please don't talk about sex during the show. It's disgusting. It's simply rude and disgusting. Do your walking Hia impression. What is a walking Hia exactly? Son of a bitch. All right. You want to learn how to make Queen of Hungary's water in your own house? Sarah was talking about this earlier. I thought I'd give you a little tip on how to do some technology of your own. How to make something really good for your body. Now, the Queen of Hungary, there's something so intriguing about recipes that have been used for centuries and passed down by oral tradition and folk tales. Below is one of my favorite herbal recipes with legend deeply rooted in folklore. Not only does it have an interesting history, but the medicinal and cosmetic properties of this formula make it useful in our modern world. Well, isn't this special? Let's find out what Queen of Hungary's water is. Wow, hey, oh my God, I lost it. This technology sucks. Yeah, Bernie Sanders was just a shill. You didn't know he was leaving the Democratic Party? Yeah. He's just going to basically fade away with his 3 houses worth $600,000 and his Audi R8, which is a very nice sports car, I might add. And he doesn't even have to ask the important question, Hillary, where are the emails? And I want to talk about Benghazi. Hillary, help! So, here we go. 5 parts fresh, dried, organic lemon balm. Oh, that's the bomb. I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. I don't even know Pablo Escobar. We are not friends. 5 parts fresh, dried, organic lavender. Ooh, I can grow that. I have lavender, organic, yeah. Oh, so you already went over this with Sarah? Are you serious? Did you write it all down? I'm walking here. Ratso Rizzo, Midnight Cowboy. Thank you. Am I baked? No. But Bernie Sanders is going to be baked once he takes all that money that he got from the DNC and runs. Let's not move on. Let's talk about the corruption in our country. I think it's time. I've waited long enough for you to talk about that. You think a mustache would look good? I don't know. Just me. People say I should get into it like a goatee. Like Fu Manchu. I just hate facial hair, you know? What do you mean barely talking a straight sentence? I'm talking to you interactively right now. Get a grip yourself. Could I be a little bit more tangential tonight? I mean, come on. Give me a little leeway here. I got to talk about news. It's nothing more dull than the ongoing drone of the same old every single day coming out of the mainstream media. And what you get from Zero Hedge does its best to bring you something different. Now it says right here, it's bordering chaos. 14 billion in cargo stranded at sea. Crews are going crazy on the Hanjin ghost ships. The fallout from last week's prehistoric bankruptcy of one of the world's largest and biggest shipping lines, the Hanjin Shipping, continued with little resolution, with as much as 14 billion worth of cargoes stranded at sea, according to the WSG Wall Street Journal, sending cargo owners scurrying to try to recover their goods and get them to customers. Since Hanjin's bankruptcy's protection filing, dozens of ships carrying more than 500,000 cargo containers have been denied access to ports around the world because of uncertainty about who would pay the docking fees, the container storage, and the unloading bills. Some of those ships have been seized by the company's creditors. So this is turning into like a mad fighting frenzy over the cargo and the final days of the capitalist system as we know it. Goodbye capitalism, yes, and hello hybrid capitalism. That's right. A flexible economy is evolving right now as we speak, and it is happening whether you like it or not. See, we wrote a book that wasn't just about how to fix the country, it was about the way the country works economically. And we touched on subjects that are just not even talked about by the mainstream economists in our academic community. We are dealing with chat right now. And we don't exactly know why Gary Johnson, the big question is, why can't he know where Aleppo is? Why is he unable to deal with the reality that Syria, second largest capital of commerce, has been under siege for nearly a decade, and he won't even comment? It's amazing. Well, what I would do, 823, is wipe yourself. Yeah. Somebody asked me, David, what would you do for a beep beep? That's the best thing you can do. Okay, would anyone like to sing a song or something just to bring this, technology forward? Because I'm getting a little bit bummed out.
I really don't like commercials.
So what I'm going to do is, I did know what Aleppo was. In fact, I was going to write a letter and blog on the New York Times website, but they didn't have an online blog. I couldn't find one. I mean, I was like, why can't I blog at the New York Times? What's going on? How come they haven't opened up a venue for people to communicate? I mean, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, here we go. I'm way better. Way better. Yeah. Okay, we got Hillary. We don't want to do more sputum jokes. We talked about that too much. But it is nice to just lubricate the audio pipes by playing a little Hillary. Let's do that.
What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make? What difference at this point does it make?
Silence, you mental midget!
Okay, welcome to the show. We're the only ones offering a free $400 per month per U.S. adult plan for the country to get out of this tough economic recession / depression that we're in. So the key is to not react with extremism like Donald Trump, and not to fall into the category of being collectivist like Hillary and thinking about taking away your freedoms and your rights, because we all know that the private sector is the growth sector for jobs. 65% of all new jobs come from small businesses. So I take the plan at Hybrid Capitalism to lower restrictions on new startups, all the way up to $100,000 in net worth. You will have no financial barriers, including becoming a plumber and an electrician. You'll have very few legal hoops to jump through, like labor and industry fees and all kinds of requirements. You will have to take a test, however, just to qualify as an electrician or a plumber. But there won't be any fees, meaning all of you can become much more successful. Thank you.
Was moving too slowly, but the fall of Ramadi has galvanized the Iraqi government. So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
Hillary's right hand assumes a frankly painful position, which includes her middle finger above her index finger. Professionals who care for Parkinson's patients recognize this as a common Parkinson's disease hand posture.
Well, there you have it. Yeah. So we've got a doctor, we got a 15-minute video of a doctor talking about how they think Hillary has Parkinson's. Yeah. And we've got a lot of issues to deal with that are just not being dealt with in the technological field. One of which I wanted to talk about was the barrier that venture capitalists place on all startups. And it's the reason why I think the government should get involved in creating, mass producing, and delivering solar panels to rooftops. The idea of getting a rooftop solar panel system out there is our idea. It's not Hillary Clinton's idea. I understand she's running a commercial right now talking about rooftop solar systems, which we've been doing for 8 years. So now Hillary is jumping on my ideas. And any kind of bastardization of these ideas, of course, will not work the way I want to deliver them. But whatever. The idea is already being developed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and they have the ability to mass produce these. So as president, I will order this mass production, and we can start building solar rooftops all across this great nation. Meaning you're going to be paying less on your electric bill, 30% less. And we're still going to get money out of that to pay for the infrastructure. Yes, and we will address the chemtrail problem. The chemtrails, not only are they creating a massive plume of aerosol, which is breaking down the Earth's atmosphere, but this technology, which was developed by Nikola Tesla, is using heavy metals like these chemtrails, dispersing them in the skies, and using phased array radar systems to control their flow. So when the sun's blocked by these chemtrails, the solar panels do not work. They're blocking the sun, exactly. Thank you. So the solar industry will have a big problem the more they press for chemtrails in the sky. Now, people as high up as the director O'Brien, the CIA director, has gone out of his way to tell people that he's ready to do this and he thinks it's a good idea, even though there's no science that backs it up. Now, he's really just basically closing the barn door after the horses are out, because the chemtrails have been sprayed for years. He's just saying that it's a good idea to do this, which is, as a mouthpiece for the CIA, makes total sense. I mean, who else is going to deliver the barnyard speech to all the farm animals as they sit there and breathe the fumigants, killing off their brain cells and destroying their personal longevity? and the teratogenic effects on their human species. Here is Mr. O'Brien.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations.
All right, we've heard enough. Yeah, this guy is full of absolute crap coming out of his mouth. So contrails are things that come out of the planes and quickly disperse. And aerosol chemtrails, or the phase 2, chemtrail 2 versions that they have now, come out of planes and disperse over large distances because they are absolute pollution. They're dumping industrial waste on your head. But with the advent of pubic hair technology, you'll be styling your pubis and breathing in fumes that make you become more and more retarded. On a different note, we've got people out in the ocean watching our show on a 4K screen. Congratulations, guys. You're awesome. You are doing the unthinkable. You're fighting a beginning of a trade war over this a line of cruise ships, or actually merchant ships. It's weird. That's a lot of value lost in that truckload, in that entire cargo line. That's the whole, all of the ships they're having problems with. All right, so we will be doing a 9/11 special on 9/11 Sunday, and it's pretty sad that most of the 9/11 material you've seen on television is mostly about, oh, so sorry. You know, I'm very sad that 3,000 people died too, but we're going to have a much different show. We're going to talk about how corrupt our system is, that it's lied to the American people about 9/11 for 15 years, and we haven't had any response from our government regarding all the big questions that we've been asking. A lot of you have been saying, well, it was clearly a demolition. What happened to Building 7? It was not even hit by a plane. Some of you are even believing there were no planes, that they were holographic images imparted onto film, much like in a special effects in a movie. Yeah, it's entirely possible. Entirely possible. So we will be addressing all those issues on our 9/11 special, which will run standard hours, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Thank you. I don't think there's a premonition for me on 9/11. No, I just, yeah, I'm really hesitant to believe that the problem will happen in September. My premonition has been it's going to be in October. And we've seen a lot of stock market crashes in October. So I'm going to go with October instead of 9/11 for the big event. Everyone's anticipating it and bracing themselves for it. Thank you. Now, guess, stop attacking DT Laura. You know, I've been kind enough to give you guest chat privileges all night long. All night long. And it's been something I really want to continue. But here's a guest saying the air's scum, calling himself scum. It's demoralizing to see a culture just hate itself. I definitely agree we need freedom of speech, man. That's what I'm talking about. Guess ting. Waste of resources. I used to work in a fire hydrant factory. You couldn't park anywhere. STFU, you dumb inbred 916er. I'm just reading the chat. I'll put it up on the screen. LOL. DT Laura is awesome. Obese vegetarians are funny. DT Laura, beep, beep, beep. You are hereby muted. You see, that's what I'm talking about. You're ruining it for the others. All night long. Well, you lived in it. You were born into it. You know, your mother cared for you and loved you and gave you life. And now you got Democrats like Donald Trump. I mean, sorry, Republicans. He sounds like a Democrat. And then you got Democrats like Hillary Clinton who definitely want to have baby mills. And you're a social conservative and you're going, well, why don't I just vote for David Sponheim? Heck, he wants to limit abortions to just the first trimester. Or maybe no marriage at all, so we don't have to worry about all this same-sex jargon. I don't want to go into the justice of peace and get married with some flamer. So I understand how you feel. And then I've got another thing for you, a 2-minute meditation session to offer everybody who wants school prayer. All right? That's my workaround, 2-minute meditation. So do consider my vote. And remember, I am a fiscal conservative. Thank you. Now, who's going to pay for all these solar panels? Well, they're going to come out of the military budget initially, and they're going to offer a return on investment instantly once they get hooked up. You see, these things on this truck are actually generating electricity right now. You know how much generation of electricity I've done since I put that picture on my screen? Do you have any idea? I don't. Right here, right now. The screen is exposed to sunlight. All right. Any other questions? Because we can move on. I know that your life is not going to be working as slaves. I know that much. We're actually entering an era of sustainability where you're going to be working less, admittedly, but things will be cheaper. You know that the consumer price index is dropping right now on food? Did you know that? That food prices are going down and retailers are freaking out. Dollar General and Family Dollar are seeing major spikes and they have to lower the cost of their food just to sell it. Well, I guess Dollar Store always sells at $1, but the cost of their goods is changing. Yeah. Sales are going down. They're cutting back on supplies, and the cost of food has dropped quite a bit. Except for beef. Beef is driving the meat industry and will continue to drive the meat industry. I can't thank Monsanto, no. Demand is dropping, yeah. People are cutting back. I mean, you know that when I put out a show, when we made a $2 apple crisp dessert tonight that'll feed 6 people at least, if not 8. And I made another video for next week I'll be playing, which is a $2 dinner for 6. Phenomenal. I'm showing people how to survive in a tough economy. Let's face it, man. I mean, money doesn't grow on trees for a lot of people, and frankly, $400 a month is not asking a lot, in my opinion. Our government's been giving people like Wall Street executives, Donald Trump and people like that, all kinds of Wall Street welfare. So... No, I get plenty of nutrition. You know, all of the food I put together is like guaranteed a variety of nutritive vegetables. And when I cook with fruits like apples, they're germane to this area. They're germane to this area. I just use Y2K stuff. I'm just using up food that's still good. Most of my Y2K stuff is pre-GMO. And many of you don't even know what GMO is. That's okay. Studies have shown that 58% of the population has heard of it. 23% has never heard of it. All right. Let's go remove you from the show immediately. Again, we are only muting people that are demoralizing us in the show. We want to keep our elevation up. The globalists will win. Too many idiots. Good point, 916. Excuse me. Why in the world don't you at least admit that maybe I might be onto something by eating food that was grown before pesticides and herbicides, that was processed in 1998 into good natural fields of America before Roundup? How come you can't understand that? You don't get it, do you? You all eat food grown from genetically modified organisms, you're going to turn into a walking, talking tumor. Excuse me, I am only muting you because you're accusing me of being Adolf. Thank you. David, I grow all organic. You eat canned food with zero nutrition. Well, I beg to differ with you. Y'all see how I put real celery and real carrots, sometimes organic carrots, and I add onions to my dinner. I don't consider that not nutritious. That's real solid vegetables, man. Where'd you grow up, boy? What side of Chicago did you grow up, buddy? Guess 299, you live in Chicago, right? Is that correct? Yes or no? Yeah, glyphosate. Yeah, Roundup. Thank you. You learned how to spell it. Excellent. The Minion. See, if y'all differ with Chatta, y'all get banned. I'm not banning you for that. No. I'm leaving that chat up. You qualify, man. Yeah, right on. Welcome to the after show, extended show. All right, we're just gonna play some music because y'all been getting real bored. Yeah. Come on, let's crank it up. We're gonna make this happen. Ooh, yeah, that was good. Thank you. All right, so we pretty much know that we're headed for some really tough times, and a lot of you are kind of like living in a, kind of a dream world. for lack of a better word. So we'll try to keep you tethered to reality during your shows when you come and see us. And I want you all to know that we are so regular that we're better than X-Lax, you know, in terms of providing a regular show. And consider this the bowel movement, you know, at this point. Because unless we can actually get mainstream media attention, we are essentially just, you know, talking, which is good. But at least we can talk. You know, you can't do that with the Democrats or Republicans. They shut you out. We all saw what they did to Bernie Sanders supporters. And I think Bernie Sanders was a shill, personally, but, you know, we can disagree on that. But we are aware that the two parties are completely controlled and that we don't have a voice in American government. We know that. Sue me for what? A caricature, you freaking zoid, you moron? You cannot sue anybody. If you're a public official, you cannot sue somebody for slander or libel. Your extenuating circumstances would be defamation only if they could prove it affected your commerce. So, I mean, you've got to look at contract law. You've got to look at defamation lawsuits and precedents, and you have to understand public officials are wide open. I'm going to have a hard time suing the Rolling Stone magazine for calling me a bizarre fringe candidate. Yeah, you got nothing on him. He's taken 10 of my ideas. I will countersue, and I will sue for intellectual property violations. Checkmate. It'll be tied up in court for years, and I guarantee he's going down. Because I've got proof on redundant servers in the Netherlands that can verify that I've had all these ideas for the past 8 years. They're just a bunch of retards. The Trump-tards. You got nothing. The same thing you were saying 6 months ago, a year ago. I haven't had one single suit filed against me. You're all talk. And Trump knows full well if he sued me, it would bring out this incredible problem that he's stolen 10 of my ideas. It's unbelievable. It's unparalleled. It would only give me press, you morons. He couldn't be that stupid. My God, you people are so out of it. And I have credible evidence to suggest that Eric and Donald were actually communicating about this party and watching our show and pulling ideas from it. And I have very solid evidence of an inner chat that they both have. So somebody sent me records of, which validate what I'm saying. So yeah, this is serious. All right. AT&T exploits massive loophole to deny budget internet to some low-cost customers. Wow. You know, I've heard about this. You know, I've heard about this this program. And a lot of Democratic states have shut off the lifeline to a lot of people who are low income. It's called Lifeline, actually. And it works in tandem with the with AT&T. Well, now AT&T is trying to shut off their 3 megabyte per second internet speeds. Wow. They refuse to offer the low-income discounts. When AT&T purchased DirecTV merger conditions imposed by the FCC, it required the ISP to offer internet service for either $5 or $10 a month to people with low incomes. I don't know about you, but most of us are paying $60 a month for internet service. And according to this article, the merger should have taken place and AT&T should have offered them discounts, but they didn't. You're going down, AT&T. Looks like another breakup of Ma Bell. I'm not hesitating to talk about breaking up massive technological corporations like AT&T again. And I would easily go after the monopoly we know as Google, which is owned by our government, owned by the NSA, owned by what appears to be a shell corporation for DARPA called In-Q-Tel. And we know that they've owned this because they've been using it to monitor all of our social activities using that high technology. Here's a garbage dispute. Okay, let's take a look. Modern day technology in your living room.
Someone puts out their trash, and if it's a 4-bag limit, let me say this to the universe, and you go to a customer's garbage cans and they got 5 bags, then you charge them for 1 extra. But you got enough common sense to pick the sucker up. This guy ain't got no common sense.
An unhappy customer.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension of one crazed lady freaking out at the garbage man. This behavior is quite common due to the extensive spraying of chemtrails.
I want the officer to know that you hit the back of my van and refused to give me your personal information. Ain't right.
The effects of these chemicals and heavy metals on the atmosphere has caused people to have bizarre behavior patterns, indicative of a human poisoning of the population.
Oh, let me do this guy first when I can, all right?
This behavior is predictable and managed by the power elites who are purposely turning us into human chickens.
I got away. This guy's a... how shall I put it? A pussy?
All right. Thank you.
That was special. You know, it's fun to look at other people having emotional crisis. But when you're in the middle of it, it's a problem. Sometimes I get tired of these sunglasses, and I put these ones on. Just to get a different perspective. She said a big word there, the power. The power of spice. She said the pussy word. Pussycat, pussycat, where are you? Yeah. All right, I think we've come to a conclusion. You don't want to work because you know that the world's going to become automated. Now the question is, how are you going to get cash when you vote for me? Well, to start with, this is the Baseline Plus plan. $400 per month per U.S. adult. Invigorating our economy, putting more money in the retail sector and in the service economy. And the Baseline Plus is, the baseline is the $400. And the plus is you working your ass off to get ahead. So in no way am I giving you a freebie. I'm just trying to take you up to a normal level. As your president, I'm concerned about the general welfare of our population. Congress is not. Congress could care less. They want to let you, the poor people, the people who are foreclosed on, and now there's so many foreclosures happening, it's ridiculous. They want to let all those people live on the street. Now, we want to see homes. We want to see a management of our existing homes, renovations. We want to see jobs for people fixing up houses. We're not getting any of that from the Democrat-Republican Party. Well, let's be clear. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. So we put together the Homestead Renewal Plan and our solar rooftop revolution. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da! Thank you. My plan is going to take a short time period. We can activate this plan in less than 3 months, getting the initial backbone of it together and start deploying it in Detroit, Cincinnati, areas that are stricken with renovations and needs for solutions. And the numbers are shocking. How many people are right now close to foreclosure? There's 18 million houses in America that are teetering on foreclosure, abandoned, ready for occupation. I am reading your lips. Baton Rouge flood footage of wealthy neighborhood. No one was spared. Really? Interesting. A home stat. Thank you. So take a look at this stat right here. Homeless in America, 3.5 million. Vacant homes in America, 18.6. You sent a link, Sponheim, on the nuke? Oh, I did not know that. Really? I must have missed it. Checking. I see it. It is a Facebook ad. People are asking me, David, are you audio animatrized? Are you a robot? I reject that statement. My protocol is to respond directly to your chat. Hold, please. Okay, North Korea has conducted its 5th nuclear test on the day of an important holiday for the regime. Let's listen in. Go ahead. I'm listening. Speak. David, here is the Great Lake, Captain Audi. Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Anna Fifield. I am the Washington Post Tokyo Bureau Chief, and I am now coming to you to talk about the North Korean nuclear test that has apparently just happened. This is what we know so far. At about 9:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning local time today, there was a magnitude 5.3 earthquake that was detected in North Korea at Punggye-ri, the test site where North Korea has conducted its previous nuclear tests. It was deemed to have been an artificially caused earthquake. The USGS said that it looked like it was an explosion and it bore the same hallmarks as North Korea's previous nuclear tests. And interestingly, this nuclear test happened exactly on the dot of 9 a.m. local time, actually 1 second after 9 a.m. So it's hard to think that anything other than a nuclear test, that a random natural earthquake would be so well timed. So at the moment we have people of
Very interesting indeed. We were very concerned about this, the timing of the earthquake, yeah. We are very concerned about this, without a doubt. And we are also concerned about the state of the Burning Man we have there, yeah. The state of the cowbell. We have requests for cowbell. Some of you are suffering from minor neurological impairment due to the chemtrail spraying. Have no fear, we have it covered. This soothes people with mental neurological imbalances like Hillary's suffering from. Hillary, are you listening? Does that make you feel better? Saturday Night Live stopped being funny after about 3 years, so I haven't heard anything from them in the past 30 years. So I can't tell you. So we are going to give her full 15 minutes tonight. Starting in 4 minutes, we'll be starting our show off with her. Why not? I'm done with the garbage lady. We've covered almost every subject under the sun. How AT&T is refusing to offer low-income discounts for sub 3 megabyte per second internet. $14 billion in cargo stranded at sea in the Hanjin ghost ship line, which is now in bankruptcy or near there. $14 billion in ocean products and cargo still sitting in abeyance. I hope the Maersk isn't involved. They watch our show every night. I hope they're not involved. And then we'll be talking about the earpiece story. During the NBC Veterans Forum, Hillary has a little pearl thing in her ear, which looks like she's cheating, like she's getting prep talk. But I wouldn't doubt Trump has one too. So, I mean, it seems like the entire thing is completely corrupt at all levels. And I've been saying that for years, how I would only get into a debate with these people if they had their ears checked by a doctor. And here we have indications of an earpiece in Hillary's ear. Yeah, so, I don't know, it may not be a big deal to you, but I'm tired of reading that Obama is saying something that's been prepped by a speechwriter as opposed to, a real person. And the big news story today really is that the Wells Fargo Corporation, their own employees, 50, unbelievable, unparalleled, 5,300 employees, created millions of phony accounts and borrowed and took money from unsuspecting customers at Wells Fargo. So there's going to be payouts to Wells Fargo beneficiaries receiving money. They're going to see a lot of their money returned, but for the most part, Wells Fargo is in deep doo-doo. And they got to get rid of 5,300 employees, a massive employee ripoff. Typhoon damages a Fukushima ice wall, 400 tons leaking each day. Well, at least that's better than the 600 tons that we were seeing last year. Wow. And then Fukushima, the entire refrigerator unit is broken. Got not
September
good news.
8th, 2016. You're looking at 3 spaghetti.
BP Earthwatch has got that story. Okay, good. Wow. Wowie kazowie. Thanks for coming in, everybody, and listening to my jargon. I know it's not always easy to hear somebody talk incessantly for 5 hours, but I've turned it into an art form, and I pride myself in my ability to change subject matters fairly quickly to keep everything moving along, because most of us don't have an attention span longer than about 10 seconds. I know Donald Trump doesn't have one at all. Tony Schwartz said that the guy who wrote the book, The Art of the Deal, it wasn't Trump that wrote the book. Tony Schwartz said that Trump has no attention span, and he gets very, very annoyed at the drop of a hat. Not a good sign for a presidential candidate at all. Minimum paid workers cooking the books for the boss. Dark 2T says, yeah, it is kind of an art. We could do some funny pictures of Kim Jong-un. Yeah, you want to do that? I could make a little image library for you on the fly here. Well, we'll be looking at job openings at Wells Fargo's. Yeah, good point. So some of you guys may want to, contact their branch managers and ask if they want to hire. It might be a good move. Make Kim Jong-un dance. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, Kim, are you here? Kim Jong-un, please. Calling Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un please come to the front desk for Kim Jong-un. Request for Kim Jong-un in the mezzanine. Call for Kim Jong-un. Brilliant. Yeah, I got it. Love that one. Thank you. And thanks for coming to the show, but you're a very bad man. Brilliant. Okay, let's give this a few more seconds on our slideshow. Well, I guess we got to do it. One last au revoir to the group. We'll be back tomorrow night with Freedom Friday. Got a whole lineup of good stuff to watch tonight. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. We'll do a little rendition of Can't Stop now. And thanks again for coming into the show. We'll be back, as I said, tomorrow at 5 p.m. with another round of America's Third Party Interactive Chat.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Sponheim for president. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim.